WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 15 minutes before 12 o'clock, it's time to have fun with Dan. The show is called Fun with Joe, so it's Fun with Joe with Dan.
What if I'm not here? Is it Fun with Joe with Dan with Tom?
That happened once, yes. It was Fun with Joe with Dan with Tom.
Oh, okay.
Exactly what it was.
That's what it'll be, yeah.
I have some more trivia. This is the last day I'll be using the trivia questions from the National Trivia Association from last Saturday when they issued them. Huh?
You were too soft yesterday, by the way.
On what?
I think I got that right. Do you? Okay, you can have it then.
No.
Oh, yeah. He was way wrong. He was off.
On which question?
All of them, but on this particular one, it was terrible.
What was it? What particular one?
Oh, I don't remember.
Because I will.
The web, the feet, myself. The hands, the whatever, some kind of animal with hands. Oh, I said fins. Fins aren't hands. Hands aren't fins. Right. He didn't even have the right animal.
Well, maybe you're right. Maybe.
Come on.
All right. I'll say yes to you and yes to your dad, and I'll be wrong both times.
No.
Wait, where was your picture?
The answer is the answer.
Hit the button for the picture. There was the otters. I know they're talking about otters.
Yeah, and he said something like a seal.
I know.
No, not even a. There's no. No, just no. You were just being so nice. I'm yelling at the radio, going, "What?"
You shouldn't yell at the radio.
I know.
It's your best friend.
It's my radio.
It's your
what if it stopped working?
Friend.
What then? It would be mad at me and I'd be upset because it stopped working. We have a love-hate relationship.
You know, I go in Robin's car, and on her radio, it says the name of the station, the name of the host, everything is going on.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if
My
you
car
want to
doesn't have that.
advertise,
it depends on your receiver. Yeah. I don't have it in mine either.
Do we have?
'Cause I have an old car.
Does our station put out that signal?
I can't.
Some
see
of
that.
it, not much of it.
No. Oh, really?
Yeah. I have to do something.
Can we do that so it says Larry's talking now?
Yes, we
Robin's
can.
Talking
Yes.
now.
Can we? Yes. Will I? Probably not.
Dan is talking now.
I will at some point. It's just a matter of getting over there and doing it.
Advertisers, it says call for more information, 1-800 whatever.
Oh, does it really? Was it on?
Oh,
was it on satellite?
It does. No, it was. It's another FM station here in town, and it'll give the name of the song, the artist.
And it says call to advertise.
Yeah, and it'll say if you want to advertise on, and then it gives their call letters, and then it gives their phone number.
Actually, that's pretty smart. I'll do that then. I'm going to copy that. I'm just going to tell you right now. I'm going to straight up steal that.
I'm sure somebody else stole it from somebody else.
Yeah.
It's probably a little doohickey you put on there.
It is. Yeah. Doohickey, but yeah.
Doohickey, yeah.
Doohickey. But you can have whatever you want. Hey, that's up to you.
Because
Hey,
some
nothing. There's anything wrong with that.
who know things. So
There are.
well, you got some guys who work in here that are very smart about this kind of stuff. They probably have that information. How do you do that?
It's all boils down to one thing.
Money?
Oh yeah.
How much could that cost?
I don't know. Probably not much.
A little device that puts out a little
signal of some type that says you program it in and make it say.
Yeah.
I'm going to make it say your mama jokes. We'll have it. It'll just say.
Wouldn't that be funny?
They're listening to the radio, look down, and all of a sudden, your mama's so fat.
Oh. Yeah, right.
You'll get called.
So I have the last day I'll be able to draw from those questions that were issued last Saturday for the National Trivia Day, which who even knew there was such a thing?
You did.
I know it. I never knew it before,
Yeah.
unless it's a new thing.
Tom, we caught it late. Tom was doing his trivia, and it was Tuesday, so it was too late, so he couldn't use it. Because it was like Saturday when it came out, wasn't it? Saturday.
Came out Saturday, yeah.
So you can't use it on Tuesday.
Why not? We've been using it since Monday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Today's the fourth day.
Yeah, but you got it originally, so you can't say it's National Trivia Day on Tuesday when it was Saturday.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, right.
So.
But these are the questions from.
But next year it might be Monday.
National Trivia Day. Right.
That's right.
All right, so we need to tell everybody what the prizes are. That way, they might want to come in and call in rather and bet on you or.
That's right. They've got to call in the Climate Control Source Hotline.
On my side of the fence, we have 2 tickets to the Hogtown Medieval Fair. That's happening up in Gainesville at the Alachua County Fairgrounds, January 25th and 26th, January 31st, February 1st, and February 2nd. And this is so cool. It's been going on for at least 30 years, and you can observe full flight falconry. You can observe armed combat. They have human chess matches. They have hundreds of entertainers. They have over 160 artisans. You can meet the king and queen of the Renaissance Fair. They have food everywhere. There's human-powered push rides. Yeah.
Galen and I were talking about that yesterday. I'm going to go just to get some food.
Oh, and this is such
look at the giant turkey legs, I'm sure. If it's medieval type stuff.
You might want to try tossing the foam poles.
Yeah, okay.
They're 700 pounds. They're just big logs, but they look like foam poles.
And you win some food?
I don't know what they do. 700 pounds, that's pretty heavy.
Well, as long as I win some food, that's okay.
I should find a video.
You don't do it for fun.
I think you do it for wenches. I'm not sure.
Yeah, there are wenches there. Everybody's in period costumes.
The wenches will get you food.
Okay, then I'll do it. As long as it circles around the food, I'm good. Somehow or another. If I get fed out of the deal, I'm good.
Okay. All right. And what's on your side of the fence, Dan?
On my side of the fence, we have cereal. Dark chocolate crunch, multigrain Cheerios, and this little card. This little doggy on it with a little eye patch. And it's $25 to Target.
Yay!
So that's a good prize on my side.
I looked it up. It's not a phone pole. It's called a caber.
A caber.
C-A-B-E-R.
What if I put a phone on top of it? Is it a phone caber?
It looks just like a phone pole. Oh, look at this one. This
probably is a phone pole.
See, here's a video of a guy doing it. See, he's throwing phone poles.
He's not doing a very good job. He kind of sucks.
That looks pretty old. That's like very 20s. Old black and white movie.
30s.
Yeah.
All right, so we need somebody to call to bet on Dan, somebody to call to bet on Robin, and it's
$25 gift card for Target up for grabs.
Yeah, you got that'll get them calling in. All right.
And if you've won this prize beginning Monday, January 6th through now, you're ineligible to win during this segment for the next 30 days. So we've had 3 winners so far, and all 3 are ineligible to play now for 30 days.
So if you're one of those 3, the number to call is 622-WOCA. That is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline, 622-9622. We'll take your call during the break, and we will be right back.
WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
Plumbing. I see. Ooh, we can try to fix that. I'll send someone right over. How's the third Wednesday of next month? Between the hours of 8 a.m. and 8 p.m.? Would that be fine? Of course it will. Now I'll just need your credit card information.
Does that sound all too familiar? Well, next time, call Mike Scott Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it. We schedule around your time, not ours. And we have straight time, anytime, all the time. That means we're on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we don't charge extra for nights, weekends, or holidays. We install traditional and tankless water heaters, repipes, drain repair, septic service and installation, irrigation systems, new construction, remodels, bathrooms, kitchens, even gas line installation and service. And we've been doing it all for over 25 years. So call today, 237-2888. That's 237-2888. And remember, if water runs through it, we do it. Mike Scott Plumbing.
Trauma care centers save thousands of Florida lives.
But Shands UF wants to close Ocala Regional's trauma center.
An out-of-town hospital that receives millions in taxpayer money is suing to shut down Ocala's trauma center. They want to pull the plug on life-saving trauma care all over Florida. Don't let them get away with it. Trauma care increases the chance of survival in traumatic injuries by 25%. 25%.
That's right. But only 2 in 5 Floridians have the access to trauma care they need. And that's not even close to good enough.
We don't need less access to trauma care. We need more.
It's time for Shands UF to stop putting profits ahead of patients.
Stop playing political games.
Visit SaveOurTraumaCenters.org to find out how you can help keep Ocala's Trauma Center open and protect life-saving trauma care. Save more lives. Save our trauma centers. Paid for by the 60 Plus Association.
All right, thank you. It's
thank you.
7 minutes before noon. Dee is betting on you, Robin, and Betty is betting on you, Dan.
All right.
And here we go.
Where are we going?
Questions. Are you ready for the questions?
I'm going crazy.
Dan and Rob.
Larry.
What did the owners
and Robin
of the Kansas City Chiefs first want to call their team? What did the owners?
Spartans?
No.
Kansas City Chiefs.
First wanted to call their team what?
Indians.
No. Good guess. Nobody's calling in to help you out, so I'll have to
the
tell you.
engineers.
No.
Call in D. Call in Betty.
It's the Mules, the Kansas City Mules.
Oh, that's nothing at all related.
I know, not even close.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know why we thought that.
What beverage did
Sounds
George
wrong.
Washington insist that his Continental Army have in their daily rations?
Beer.
Beer is right.
Oh, wow.
Beer is
Good
right.
job.
Beer
Liquid
is right.
food.
Yeah.
Betty is on
In
the
fact,
board.
that's probably made sense, right? Mm-hmm. Where in Canada did residents almost vote to name their territory Bob?
Ontario.
No.
Vancouver.
Quebec?
Your turn.
No.
Montreal.
No.
Newfoundland.
No.
Vancouver.
I hope I understand this right.
Oh,
No, it's-
where in Canada?
Where in Canada did residents almost vote to name their territory Bob?
The Great White North.
The Great Black South.
I don't know. See, you might be saying it and it's got another name. It says Canada's Northwest Territory was at one point going to be called Bob.
Really?
Can you imagine that? I'm going to go to Bob now.
Come on, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I would have done it.
That would be cool.
All right,
I would have
here's
done it just to be different.
Here's an easier one. What is the most shoplifted food item in the United States?
Steak.
Tuna.
No.
Eggs.
The most shoplifted food item in the United States.
Candy.
Candy is right.
Oh, wow.
Kids. You gotta think kids.
The most
Yeah, I
shoplifted
didn't think
food
that.
item in Europe.
More candy.
Not candy, no.
Capers.
Capers.
Beer.
Not beer. What is a caper?
Little green.
Those little anchovy things.
Oh, no, not anchovies.
Yeah.
No. It's cheese. The answer is cheese.
Oh.
They're much more civilized.
I think so.
It's just some cheese.
Sorry, sir. I'd like some aged cheddar, please.
All right, now the next question is a yes or no question, which means the first one who answers it is the only one who can answer it.
Okay.
You can't change your answer if it's wrong. Some humans are allergic to cats. Is the reverse ever true?
Yes.
Yes is right. Some cats are allergic to humans.
I would believe that.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
About how many ingredients are there in the recipe for McRibs?
7.
No. McRibs. The
Oh,
recipe
8.
for McRibs. No.
8.
22.
No, it's higher. As soon as you get close enough, I'll give it to you.
51.
A little higher.
63.
That's close enough. 70 is the answer.
kidding?
Ribs?
70 ingredients in the McRib recipe. Yes.
Wow.
Probably 69 different animals. And in
massive.
sauce.
Yeah.
The last one's sauce. You have 69 different animals in sauce.
What was where
I'm not eating McRib again.
No.
Never again.
where was President Nixon when he famously declared that he was not a crook? Where was he?
Miami.
No, you're not far off, though.
Watergate.
Oh,
No, he was not at
South
Watergate.
Beach.
No. Well,
Fort Lauderdale.
It's in that.
no, it's in Florida somewhere. That's all
Yeah,
I'm trying
it
to
is,
say.
and it's down in that area. It's
Down
on
there.
No,
that
it's
little
not.
Homestead.
inlet where the
It's not
in that
aquarium
area.
is.
It's
No.
not in the Miami area.
Tallahassee.
No,
Robin.
but it's in Florida.
See,
Yeah.
now it's your turn.
Okay, it's down there.
No, it's
in
not.
that-
It's not down there.
No, it's not. It's not in the Miami area.
Just
When
guess
you said
another
Miami,
city.
I said you were close because you were in Florida, but it's in Florida, but not the Miami area.
Oh, gee. Melbourne.
No.
Orlando. Okay, I'm close. Obviously,
Very,
look.
very, very, very super close.
Go ahead, Robin.
Kissimmee?
Huh?
Kissimmee?
Very even closer. Even closer.
Haines City.
Even farther.
Apopka.
No, Kissimmee's the closest you've been so far.
Kissimmee.
Kissimmee. Davenport.
No, Kissimmee's the closest you've been so far.
Oh, my gosh. Where is...
Well, it's Kissimmee, Davenport, and Orlando.
All right, I'll tell you. Disney World.
Oh.
He was in Disney World.
Okay.
Yeah.
There, he's going real specific. I missed
Well,
that whole. Yes, you were.
It's important trivia because he's a president
yeah.
saying he wasn't a crook, and he's
In Disney.
He's ready to go.
He's in Disney,
Well,
yeah.
what a better place to do it. Listen, kids.
All right. What recording
all
group
make-believe anyway.
sang a song? What recording group sang a song that caused the Polaroid camera company to issue a statement that said, quote, shaking or waving a Polaroid photograph can damage the image, unquote? What was the name of the-
Swinger.
Andre 3000.
No,
Was it Swinger?
no, it's the name of a group.
Hold on.
They sang a song called "Shake It Like a Polaroid Picture."
Yeah, that was Andre 3000. Was the singer? This was recent.
Relatively recent.
Yeah, he's the singer, but I don't remember the group name.
Oh, that's the guy's name. Oh, okay. Well, then
Yeah.
maybe you got it right.
No, I don't remember the group. I was asking for the group.
It's called Outcast.
Outcast. Yeah.
Outcast. All right, here's a good one.
I like that group.
What was invented during World War II
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
What? I'm sorry.
What was invented during World War II when an Italian pastry maker mixed hazelnuts into chocolate to extend his chocolate ration?
Oh, I love that stuff.
Is it nougat?
No,
It's got a name.
Starts with an N.
It's not nutmeg. It's
Not nougat.
Not
No.
nougat. No.
Call in D. Call in
I
Betty.
can see the can too. It's a little can on the grocery store. You just,
Good morning. Do you know?
It's Nutella
Nutella
Yes.
is right.
That's
Good
it.
job. Who's the point for?
for Robin.
Oh,
Robin.
yay. We're on the board. D with one.
Oh,
Four
no.
for Betty. One for D.
All right. What was written as part of a plan to sell American flags to schools?
Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge of Allegiance is right. Very good.
Well, I didn't know that.
Did you
I
guess
didn't
that?
either. I totally guessed. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, of course, I knew that.
What famous coach?
Not total guess.
What famous coach played Screech's cousin on a 1996 episode of Saved by the Bell? What famous coach played Screech's cousin on a 1996 episode of Saved by the Bell?
Famous coach.
Oh, was it Bobby Bowden?
No.
Is it actually a coach or somebody that played
A real coach.
A real
You can tell me the team he coached if you don't know his name.
Let's go with the Bears.
No.
About the Gators.
No.
College or NFL or
Professional.
professional? Okay. The New York Yankees.
No.
Oh, Dick Buckets.
No.
Okay.
It was Jim Harbaugh
Oh.
with the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I couldn't have told you that.
What do
Sure you could.
scientists call
Just read it from the paper.
What do scientists call the color of the universe?
Green.
No. No.
Oh, there's something. You're not looking for a color.
Yeah, we are looking for color.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Robin.
It's white.
It's a shade of beige, believe it or not. That's what the color of the
A
universe.
shade of beige.
Oh.
According to scientists, they have it a name. They give it
how
a
much
name.
that? How do they get one with that? They just mix it all together in a.
Yeah, it says the light emitted from 200,000 galaxies makes the universe a shade of beige. Scientists call the color what?
Huh.
What do they call the color?
A shade of beige.
Eggshell.
Good guess though.
Supernova.
Cosmic latte is what they call it.
Oh.
Cosmic
okay.
latte.
Well, they
Now
actually have
that's
a little
a
bit of
clever
a
name.
By the way, this is WOCA Ocala.
The source.
All right, what test did bikini designer Louis Reard say would determine if a bathing suit was indeed a true bikini? What test? Which I have a hard time believing this, but
What test?
what test did bikini
A true
designer
bikini.
Louis Reard say would determine if a bathing suit, a two-piece bathing suit, was truly a bikini?
The pencil test.
No.
I don't know.
Nobody's calling it. It's the wedding ring test. He said, if a bikini couldn't be pulled through a wedding ring, it's not a bikini.
Really? Wow.
What if it's a bikini for you?
Mine would never go through a wedding ring.
That's what I'm saying. You know,
Nor would you even want to visualize what that might look like.
mine either. But
All
you know,
right,
hey.
all right. All right,
Well,
well,
no, they didn't say what size the wedding ring.
That's
Could be a donut.
my wedding ring. What do veterinarians call a dog's feet that smell like corn chips?
Crappy,
you.
nasty, disgusting,
Oh.
gross.
No, what do veterinarians call a dog's feet that smell like corn chips? Apparently, it's not uncommon. It says here, smell your dog's feet. You'll find out your dog might have this.
Really?
It's not
Some
a
kind of
disease,
fungus?
though. It's not a disease. Come on, do you know? You there?
Yeah, they didn't want to play.
They decided to say nothing.
They were going to say something smart.
What do veterinarians call a dog's feet that smell like corn chips? Giving once, going
I have
twice.
no clue.
Cheetos,
Oh, you're very close.
Tostitos.
No.
What are the other little curly Q things?
They call them Frito feet.
Fritos. That's
Oh,
Frito
my
feet.
gosh.
That's what
cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
How many
That's
New
creepy.
Jerseys
I'm not
would
smelling
fit
my
in
dog's
Alaska? How many New Jerseys would fit in Alaska?
7.
No.
I'd say 15.
No.
21.
Way more. Way more.
52?
A little more.
60.
A little more.
70.
70 is close enough.
Wow.
75 is the answer.
75
That's
New
arbitrary.
Jerseys.
We should only have like one guess. That's terrible, isn't it? We should
Why?
keep guessing
Why?
numbers. I don't know.
What do Scottish people call the sense of panic you feel when you're introducing someone and forget his or her name?
They have
Anxiety?
a name?
It's a word for that, yeah.
Anxiety works for
Anxiety
me.
is not the word, no.
facial
Scottish
phobia.
people have a word for this.
Scottish people.
I'm
Ooh.
going through a little bit of... Right now, I've forgotten your name. I'm going through a little bit of... Which is a terrible accent.
Mind fog.
No.
I have no idea.
Tartle.
Oh,
I'm having some tartle.
Tartle.
that's a new word for my vocabulary.
Use it
Tartle.
3 times in a day and it's yours.
Did you hear BJ talking about beef heart before?
Nope.
He kept calling it...
Tartle?
No, beef heart. He kept calling it beef heart.
Yeah. He could have mispronounced it and said beef fart, but he didn't. Beef fart.
As opposed to the A fart.
Yeah.
All right, what scent is
That was a
most...
joke, wasn't it?
What scent is most arousing to women... According to a study by the Smell and Taste
I've got
Research
this.
Foundation.
I know this.
What
Okay.
is it?
Money.
Smell of money.
Musk.
What scent is most arousing to women according to a study by the Smell and Taste Research Foundation?
Musk.
Sweat.
No. You're never going to guess this, so I'll just tell you.
Okay.
Good and Plenty candy mixed with cucumber.
Yeah, I do that all the time. I'm going to now.
I'm going to go to the store and get some of that and mix
It'd be
it
a little
up.
odd. What did you get this for? Oh, no reason. Just found some good plans.
A winged...
You rub it all over you?
Yeah, how do you do it?
Yeah, probably.
Hey, if it works. I'm going to bring some.
You know,
in.
you've been ugly to me up until now, but you smell really good.
I know.
I think I'll take you up on that proposition.
That's right. You never know.
Speaking of which, a winged penis.
What
what?
now?
A winged penis is the symbol of what city? What city has as its symbol a winged penis?
St. Louis? Well, it's got the arch. I mean, it fits, right?
It's got to be somewhere in Europe.
It is. It is. I gotta look this up.
Amsterdam.
That's another good one.
They got enough
That's a good
smoking
one.
stuff over there to figure that one out.
Pompeii. But the answer is Pompeii.
Pompeii. They just needed wings, period. There's some common sense. Hey, look, mine's blowing up. We should get out of here.
That's too fun. That's too
You
fun.
think?
All right. Who wins, Robin?
Betty wins. Come pick up your prize, Betty. Sorry, D.
Good stuff, my
Too
friends.
funny. All right. We've got to move forward to Glenn Beck, and hopefully you're all liking him. And
Yeah, hey, send us your comments. Like us on Facebook. Send us an email, WOCA@WOCA.com. Let us know what you think.
yeah, there you go. All right. We'll be back tomorrow.
What you're about to hear is the fusion of entertainment and enlightenment. This is the Glenn Beck Program.
I don't know how many Republicans really kind of want somebody like Chris Christie. But this Chris Christie Fort Lee story is reason number 1 through 100 on why he's a bad guy. This guy is so Nixonian. This guy is a progressive. And that's the key here. He is a progressive. He's not a conservative. He's a progressive. He likes all of the levers of government. And he will use any of the government levers to punish the people who stand against him. That's not what a conservative or a libertarian or anybody on either side. You can be a liberal as long as you're not a progressive. And you will see what Chris Christie is doing is wrong.
Glenn, maybe you missed his statement yesterday.
Yeah? What did he say?
He said pretty clearly, what I've seen today for the first time is unacceptable. He didn't know anything about this.
No.
The first time he was seeing it was yesterday. He didn't know anything about this whole traffic situation with the GW Bridge.
I mean, how could he
nothing?
How could he possibly suspect it was true? I mean, only 2 of his top officials have already resigned over it.
Right.
He never even considered it was true. They just left because they were busy. I mean, they had PTA meetings to attend.
That's right. He was misled by a member of his staff.
Oh, no.
And this is completely inappropriate and unsanctioned conduct, and it was made without his knowledge, and he's
We're some of the examples. Well, first of all, let's give the situation. Here's what happened. A mayor in Fort Lee, New Jersey, decided that he wasn't going to play nice and play ball with Chris Christie.
He didn't endorse him.
And so you don't play nice with Chris Christie. Chris Christie will take you out by the kneecaps. And so Chris Christie decided to punish him, but not really punish the mayor. Instead, punish anyone who uses the GW Bridge coming out of Fort Lee, New Jersey. Now, Fort Lee is the town right at the base of the George Washington Bridge.
And they closed virtually every street in town. I mean, they made it an absolute maze. And so you couldn't get to the GW Bridge. And so, millions of people probably go through, hundreds of thousands at least, go through that area to go over the GW Bridge every day. And he's trying to punish the mayor of Fort Lee who didn't endorse him, and it's all the people who commute into Manhattan that have to suffer for it.
Now, here, let's just ask the people at the Huffington Post, CNN, MSNBC, et cetera, how many times have you heard anyone on your quote side actually stand up and stand with a Republican mayor against a Democrat who is in power and probably could win the next election for president? Answer: doesn't happen. Listen carefully, because this is what credibility sounds like. Here is a Democratic mayor. Don't know him, don't really care. He didn't endorse Chris Christie. That's his crime? No, that's his right. And so what happens? Chris Christie decides to punish him by closing all. But he's not punishing him.
Allegedly.
Yeah,
you understand. He didn't know anything about it.
Look at his sad puppy dog eyes, too.
Right, that's right.
Look at the picture of him there. He looks sad.
He does look sad.
He looks very sad.
And he probably needs a hug.
Yeah, my understanding is the way he made the phone call, the power of hugs. That's how I guess it was hidden from him, because
it was the power of hugs.
The power of hugs.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the hugs, he may have heard about this while it was going on, but instead the hugs helped.
So one of his staffers writes this: "It's time for some traffic problems in Fort Lee." The person, Wildstein, writes back, "Got it." So then he says, "That will undoubtedly be the highlight of my day when it happens." And then, so it happens, and one of them writes to the other, "Is it wrong of me to be smiling right now?" Because there's this massive delay getting onto the GW Bridge. So I guess like 3 hours. And the other guy writes back, "No." He said, "Well, I was starting to feel a little bit sorry for the kids on the bus who are missing school now because of this." He's like, "Well, those are just the children of Buono anyway."
Yeah, that's the mayor.
The
That's
children
the name
of his voters.
I'm sorry.
His opponent. That was Christie's opponent.
Oh, Christie's opponent. Yeah. And so, like, they're going to punish his opponent, the children of his opponent. That's okay. And those are the only people who are, first of all.
Excuse me. Do we have the audio of the president talking to the Hispanic caucus or Hispanic radio station where he said we have to punish those who stand against us?
Wow, this is very, very reminiscent of that.
But they're going to be paying attention to this election. And if Latinos sit out the election, instead of saying we're going to punish our enemies and we're going to reward our friends who stand with us on issues that are important to us.
This is a progressive.
Yeah.
This is a progressive.
This is what they do.
This is exactly what the president is doing that you don't like. This is exactly what, if this is why you don't give so much power to the government, because eventually, Mr. Obama, I paused for a long time because I thought it's going to cost me $20, because eventually Barack Obama is gone. And maybe Hillary Clinton doesn't win. Maybe it's somebody like Chris Christie. So then, how do you feel? Teachers unions, how do you feel? It's Chris Christie. If you don't vote his way, if you don't vote for a Republican, he will punish you. But you're just the one that's on the bus. You're just the one trying to get to work. You become a pawn in a power game.
And the mindlessness of that is really
is sick.
It's sick.
The way they look at people.
Mindless. To think, first of all, even if it is the children of the Bono voters, you're going to punish them?
Okay, now wait a minute. Hang on just a second. No, but what they're doing is they're making it a living hell.
Yes.
So then,
and they don't care who it is.
They don't care who it is.
And they don't consider the fact that there's millions of Christie voters going across that bridge, too.
They don't care.
It's just, they don't care.
They don't care.
This one guy they want to punish.
Yeah.
And you're running a city like
Really
Fort Lee.
weird.
That's
Weird.
your entire life is turned upside down for a week.
You don't care. You don't care. Again, the ends justify the means. This Chris Christie story is everything we despise in Barack Obama.
Yeah. And it shows you just how bad these people are. These are just bad. I mean, it's bad people who don't care about others.
How do you think this guy
degree.
has survived? How do you think this guy has survived in New Jersey? Seriously. You don't think he's breaking legs? We're seeing now that he does. And then he comes out and he says he doesn't know it. Now, here's the ironic part. And Don Lemon is the only one at CNN with any kind of credibility. Don Lemon actually, and they're rerunning this video of Debbie Wasserman Schultz on CNN, but they're cutting out the Don Lemon follow-up question. Do you have the audio?
Yeah.
Here it is. Listen.
What's the difference between Christie not knowing and the president not knowing?
The difference is the issues that President Obama said he didn't know about were policy issues. This is a scandal.
What?
A scandal that leads right to his office, in which his staff, and possibly him, exacted political retribution in retaliation for a Democratic mayor in Fort Lee refusing to endorse him in his reelection.
Stop, just a second. How is that different than the IRS scandal?
Or Benghazi. Or, I mean, it's not as bad as Benghazi.
No, it's not as bad as the IRS scandal.
And the IRS scandal. I mean,
but it's the same. It's because it's a state level scandal, not a national scandal. Christie cannot send people over to Benghazi and then abandon them.
He can harass people through tax policies and stuff like that, which is what the president did. A traffic thing is lesser than what Obama does. But the point is not who has
the same story.
It's the same motivation. It's the same attitude. And when if Chris Christie was president, he would do something similar, maybe not to the level of Barack Obama, but he would do something similar to punish his enemies. You don't get down these roads. It's not the first day you get on the job and all of a sudden you're doing this to hurt people in some town that did nothing to offend
telling you, man. Conservatives need to run from Chris Christie. It's really Chris
bad.
Christie. Yeah. This, again, is the quintessential example of why I'm against him. Well, I mean, I can't believe it because he said all of the right things when he got in. I mean, we were Chris Christie porn. I mean, he was great.
We loved him.
And we really thought he would never come on this program because we thought too much alike. Oh, no. How foolish were we?
Or that we might taint him in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he was too smart to come on the show.
Yeah.
You know.
And so we thought, okay, well, he's at our side, and so we're just going to leave him alone because no. I think if we would have had a conversation with the guy, we would have figured it out much quicker than we did.
Yeah, I think you're right. And people talk what reminds me, not as much about Barack Obama. It reminds me of a Nixon mindset. And I know I don't want to blow it out of proportion here, but it's so petty. The guy was winning by 40 points.
I don't know if you can blow it out. Yeah, and that's a great point, too, because so was Nixon. Yeah. Nixon was up by 30 or 40 points.
There was no need for a Watergate break-in. There was no need to torture. You don't need madness. This guy's endorsement. It was completely meaningless.
But you know why? You know why he did it? Nixon was a vindictive, evil man.
And so is Christie.
I think he is a vindictive, angry man. No, I don't know about evil. But a vindictive kind of guy.
And that's again, we don't know yet. We don't have the evidence yet that he knew about
this. Come on. He knows just like Obama knows all the things that are going on.
Okay, well, hang on just a second. If he doesn't know...
Yeah.
That's a problem.
That's a big problem.
That's a problem.
Well, first of all, who's he surrounding himself with? Again, a friend from childhood that he's put in this big position, and this is how he's using that position.
So if your friend from childhood, is there any doubt in your mind, if I were suddenly governor of the state of New Jersey and somebody didn't endorse me, is there any doubt in your mind that I would go crazy if you decided...
I did something like that. I mean, we're not childhood, but we go back 25 years. If I did that... without your knowledge, and then you find out, fired instantly.
And of course, that's what's going to happen today.
And I would take you out and I would publicly pillory you.
Yeah.
I would tie you to a pillory and I would beat the snot out of you verbally in the public.
And that's what I expect out of Christie today in his press conference, by the way. I expect him to come out and be Mr. Tough Guy. And I can't believe this. I want an investigation. I fired 19 people, blah, 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 blah. The bottom line is he got caught. He got caught. And I would be shocked. I would be shocked, and we're never going to know. But I would be shocked if he did not actually know about this. But for the time being, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that. But even if that's true, it shows he's putting horrible people around him, and he's creating some sort of environment where these people think it's a good idea, that it's going to please their boss to punish in a meaningless way.
Well, here's the good news.
His enemies.
Here's the good news. I think this just ended his political career for president.
Well, I hope that's true.
Yeah.
I do.
Come on.
Has to.
Who thinks that
it has to?
I don't know.
You're going to actually seriously put money behind this guy?
I'm not.
Yeah, I know.
But think about the people you're talking about. Who would be supporting this guy anyway? The MSNBC Republicans of the world are going to give this guy a pass and hope if he can win, they're going to continue to do it. If this just ends today with a tough press conference and it's over, they'll keep going. I gotta believe there's more coming.
Here's my guess. It is over. It'll end with a press conference and it will be over because I'd keep my powder dry. I'd wait until he decides to launch his campaign. If I'm on the other side, I say,
and you have the evidence,
yep.
And let it go away. And when he announces his campaign, I might even let him run until he's the candidate.
Yep.
And then just torpedo him with this. That's what I would do. I mean, if I'm Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton, you don't think this is the dream come true for him? Oh, please let him be the candidate. Quiet, New York Times. Shush, Huffington Post. Shush.
Wait.
Mm-hmm. Here's our sponsor this half hour. It is Simple to Lose. SimpleToLose.com. I've been telling you for the last couple of days about this woman, Tiffany. She started getting compliments because she was on Simple to Lose and she had lost a ton of weight. Yeah. A ton of weight. And in a 2-week period, she went off after getting the compliments and she gained all of her weight back. She was embarrassed and mad at herself, and she didn't really know why it happened. Her health coach, Michelle, who happens to be my sister, did not give up on Tiffany, and she would leave encouraging messages, and she would text her. And Tiffany said she believed in me when I had given up on myself. Well, a friend comes over, and Tiffany was at her lowest point, and Tiffany finally opened up to her on something that she had never shared with anyone before, an incident that happened when she was a teenage girl, and it made her want to hide, and it was a horrible experience. She wanted to be in shape. She wanted to be healthy, but she was afraid to have people look at her. She was afraid to be pretty. She was afraid to be attractive because of what might happen. Tiffany realized that she had to let it go and she could change her life. She called up my sister and said, I'm back in. Tiffany, I am happy to say, is doing really well. She says now hugs and kisses and compliments come honestly and freely. I couldn't have done this without my health coach. People are going to look, so I'm going to give them something great to look at. Simple to Lose. Simple to Lose is there, and they truly care. SimpleToLose.com. It's not a diet because diets don't work. It's about being the best you, not just today, but every day. Get your free health coach and learn how to eat healthy. Learn the healthy habits for life. SimpleToLose.com.
Listen online for free at glennbeck.com.
The Blaze Radio Network.
Meet Sean Hyman. Sean is a professional investor, best known for his ability to predict precise moves in the stock market. But what few people know is that Sean is a former pastor, and that his secret to investing success is a biblical money code woven throughout Scripture. Sean says it is this biblical money code that helped him go from making a mere $15,000 a year to now giving away up to $50,000 a year. Sean recently finished creating a free video that reveals all the secrets of this biblical money code, and you can watch it for free right now by visiting moneycode12.com. That's moneycode, the number 12.com. In the free video, you will discover how you can use this code to get out of debt, make sound investments, and morally build substantial wealth. And today you can watch it for free by visiting moneycode12.com. That's moneycode12.com.
Trauma care centers save thousands of Florida lives.
But Shands UF wants to close Ocala Regional's trauma center.
An out-of-town hospital that receives millions in taxpayer money is suing to shut down Ocala's trauma center. They want to pull the plug on life-saving trauma care all over Florida. Don't let them get away with it. Trauma care increases the chance of survival and traumatic injuries by 25%. 25%.
That's right. But only 2 in 5 Floridians have the access to trauma care they need. And that's not even close to good enough.
We don't need less access to trauma care. We need more.
It's time for Shands UF to stop putting profits ahead of patients.
Stop playing political games.
Visit SaveOurTraumaCenters.org to find out how you can help keep Ocala's Trauma Center open and protect life-saving trauma care. Save more lives. Save our trauma centers. Paid for by the 60 Plus Association.
Mason in North
Don't
Carolina.
miss a morsel of truth. Sign up for the free newsletter at glennbeck.com.
All right, thank you. A little bit of chocolate, please. Here's Mason in North Carolina.
Hey, guys, I understand Christie's really, really upset about this scandal right under his nose. We need to call this scandal Fat and Furious.
I think you just have, and we're working. Art department, get on that logo. Thank you very much. Let's go to Amy in Ohio. Hello, Amy.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Very good.
Great. No, I'm just calling about the whole bridge debacle and my comments.
You mean Fat and Furious?
Fat and Furious. What a name. What a name. Yeah. I know what comes to my mind when I think of that, but my comments were, of all the things that could have happened in that bridge tie-up, there could have been people killed. There could have been people...
Well, there was someone who died.
There was a 91-year-old woman who was on her way to the hospital and couldn't get there and died.
Yeah.
And we don't know for sure that was the cause of it, but it supposedly took multiple people twice as long to get to the hospital than normal because of his little game.
Certainly didn't help anybody, you know? And the mindless, it's really hard for me to get my head around the stupidity here because...
Thanks, Amy.
You're not even... It's not even specific to the person you're trying to hurt. I mean, it might have caused him some headaches from people calling and complaining, but you're hurting all of your constituents in your state.
The ends justify the means.
That you claim to love.
The ends justify the means. The ends justify the means. The ends justify the means. It is.
But the people who look to you for hugs.
I know.
What about the hugs? They want the leader of the state to know that you care, that you're cared about, and so you give them hugs and you draw strength from them. Those are the people, and then you force them to suffer on their way to work. It's amazing.
I remember how that thing was praised, that little speech. How it was praised by people. Oh, what a heartfelt.
What a beautiful.
Was it? Was it really? Here's a guy who's out here saying he gets the praise to save all of his constituents from a nasty storm. He used the power of hugs. And at the same time, his administration is killing 91-year-old women as they're on their way to the hospital.
If you missed the hugs, the speech, it was this.
People ask me for hugs to comfort them.
Yeah.
People ask me for hugs to make sure I wouldn't forget them.
Wow.
People ask me for hugs just to know that the leader of the state cared about them.
So beautiful. The leader. He's so beautiful.
People came up to me all the time in the aftermath and said to me,
all the time,
Governor, where did you get the energy? Where did you get the energy day after day after day to do that?
You're incredible. Where'd you get it? Because you're the best.
And I told them.
He told them.
You don't understand, do you?
You don't understand. You're too stupid. You don't get it.
Those hugs.
Those hugs. Oh, my gosh.
The authenticity of it all.
That's all it was a giant hug to the whole state of New Jersey.
I can't. The world is on fire, and we have this fat bastard out there talking about the power of hugs. Oh, my gosh. Wake up, America. How stupid are you going to look in the history books? Wake up. Power of hugs.
This is the Glenn Beck Program.
The Blaze Radio Network.
FNN News, I'm Deborah Roberts. Democrats in the state legislature are calling for an increase in the minimum wage. Florida's current minimum is $7.93 an hour, and Representative Cynthia Stafford says it should be about $10 an hour.
We want the state of Florida to give everyone a chance to have a good quality of life, a good, decent wage, have the ability to earn a decent living. This is a state for all people, not just some people.
But backers of this bill admit it's not going to be approved. Business lobbyists hate the idea of raising the minimum wage, and they usually get their way in the Florida legislature. Meantime, Florida Senator Bill Nelson wants some answers about the problem-plagued website for the state unemployment claims system.
When somebody's down and out, it's inexcusable that they can't get their legal and just compensation because the state of Florida's website is not working. I've asked the federal government to do an investigation. I'm expecting a report within a week.
Floridians can only apply online for the new benefits and all of the other assistance that goes with the program, so a snag in the system is real trouble for people who are struggling in the first place. Governor Rick Scott is in the Tampa area today for a ribbon-cutting ceremony. Air Products and Chemicals in Palmetto is adding 250 jobs. Scott says it's yet another business helping put Floridians back to work.
Pods, Health Plan Services, Stirpac, USAA, Amazon. We got big tourism numbers, 22 million tourists in the third quarter, biggest ever. So we are heading in the right direction.
Scott's Democratic opponent, former Republican Governor Charlie Crist, calls Scott a terrible governor in Crist's memoir due out next month. Scott counters the criticism by saying in the 2 years and 11 months he's been governor, Florida has added more than 440,000 jobs. Crist's book is titled The Party's Over, How the Extreme Right Hijacked the GOP and I Became a Democrat. With news on the Florida News Network, I'm Deborah Roberts.
I believe I can do anything. So when it came to learning a new language, I knew I had to do it the way I learn. No books, no memorizing or translating. I wanted to learn the same way I learned my first language, naturally. That's why I chose Rosetta Stone.
Rosetta Stone invites you to be a part of its biggest language learning event in history. Because this year, we want to help 3 million people learn a new language. That's why we're going to give you an absolutely free demo of our language immersion technology. To participate in this free nationwide event, just call 1-800-339-3166.
Si yo puedo hacerlo, usted puede hacerlo. If I can do it, you can do it.
To participate in this free nationwide event, call now for your free demo from Rosetta Stone. Call 1-800-339-3166. That's 1-800-339-3166.
At Palm Chevrolet, we're starting 2014 with a renewed commitment to you, our customers. Now, what does that mean? Well, for starters, it means breaking away from the pack. No more screaming and shouting about deals that seem too good to be true and this weekend-only events. Instead, when we have something to say, we're simply going to say it. Straightforward, open, like you would with your friends. It's the same way you're treated when you come to our dealership. When you come to Palm Chevrolet, you're not pounced upon by a salesperson. You're greeted like a guest at our home. And our deals, they're simple, old-fashioned horse trading, the way you do it with your neighbors. We put our prices right on the windshield of our cars. We use the Auto Trader trade-in marketplace to make sure you get a fair price for your trade. We even have trucks in our service loaner fleet. No games, no hassles. It's the way you've told us you like to do business. We call it the Palm Chevrolet way. So come on down to 2300 Southwest College Road in Ocala and see how easy it is to buy a car or truck the Palm Chevrolet way. Visit palmchevrolet.com. Chevy. Find new roads.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
When people were asked to choose between a bunch of items, they had less stamina and did worse on mental tests afterward. So the fix? Try and go with your gut. What is the top indicator that you will weigh more in 5 years? It's being on a diet today. You want a quick immune booster? Eat more shellfish. I do. It's because it contains selenium and zinc, nutrients that can cut the time you struggle with a cold or the flu by nearly 1/2.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
WOCA.
This is the Glenn Beck Program.
Yes, it is. When I was on with S.E. Cupp on CNN before the holiday, she brought up Chris Christie, and at the time everybody's like, "Oh, gee, Chris Christie." I mean, not you, most likely, but everybody in the media. "Oh, Chris Christie, he's the greatest." I wish I would have had this scandal to point to.
Chris Christie is the real world.
Is the real world.
No, Chris Christie is
a
almost certainly
nightmare. He is a nightmare.
But Glenn, he's almost certainly going to run for president, and he's in polling right now. He's beating Hillary Clinton.
Don't care.
We don't want to win.
Don't care. No.
Conservatives don't want to win.
He's not a conservative. He's a progressive.
How so?
He's a progressive. Look at what he's for.
Here's the thing. She's like she's saying, the conservatives don't want to win. No, if we have to do Saul Alinsky, if we have to do anything it takes to win.
What have you won?
What have you won? If you have to go against your principles, no. You don't want to win.
Yeah, well, and even if you I can understand the motivation of not wanting the opposite. You don't want to have Barack Obama as your president. You'd rather have someone who's more, friendly to your values. But the issue here is, of course, then now the crap that this guy does is associated with your values when he's not consistent with them.
Do you think we have any credibility at all with people on the left? We don't have any credibility at all with people on the left. Look how long and look how hard we are fighting right now because we didn't support everything that George W. Bush did. We didn't support everything that all of these guys in our name would do, John McCain and everything else. But you know what? We're tainted by them because we said, yes, look, he's a good guy. And then all of a sudden you find out and you're like, wait a minute, you were doing what? You were spying on people? I didn't know that. And so we have no credibility.
Yeah, if you
it's time to stand up and say what you mean what you say, and accept the consequences. I'm sorry, this is the way it is. And if you don't like it, that's fine. If it makes me a pariah, let's be an unusual people. Let's be a group of people that people look at and say, you know what? There's something about these guys. And everybody makes fun of us. That's okay.
But there's something about these guys. They're curious. They're a little bit weird. They don't really fit in, and they don't seem to care that they don't fit in. Let's be a curious people that just get down to it, do it for the right reasons, and in the end, you'll win. I don't. Gee, we're going to have Chris Christie or Hillary Clinton. What do you think that means? What does that mean for the Constitution? It doesn't get better. He's not in there fighting for the Constitution. It doesn't get better. It only gives us less credibility. I will tell you now, I will not endorse, I will not campaign for. I'm telling you, if I get on the air and say, you know what, Chris Christie, I want you to slap me. Pat and Stu.
I'd be happy to.
I know you'll be happy to.
If you want me to.
No, I don't.
Just as a reminder of for later of what it felt like now, and you don't want it to happen. So
no, I don't. No,
you want a little piece of that?
I want you to slap me. I'm serious. If I say that, I just want you to get up from your microphone, come over, and slap me.
Yeah,
wake up, man!
I believe that prediction is already in my calendar for future date
for future slapping.
And you actually have asked us to physically assault you if you support some annoying mealy mouth Republican.
Because you know what it's like when you get to that point, because we always do. So it's between, say, a Barack Obama and a John McCain or a Chris Christie. You think, okay, well, he is better than Barack Obama. I'm gonna push hard for him, and that we get to that point every time. So it's hard. It's hard.
We'll never make it unless we're in it together.
I know.
Are you going to do it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think I'm pretty well.
I think I am.
I mean, we did it with Dole. We, to an extent, did it with Bush. We certainly did it with McCain. And we kind of did it with Romney, although I liked him better than any of the other three.
Yeah, I did do it with Romney.
I won't do it with Chris Christie.
No.
I won't do it.
No. Now, I said the exact same. I will say I said the exact same thing about John McCain when he was running in the primaries. I said, look, I cannot vote for John freaking McCain in any circumstance. And I laid the law down.
And you did
no circumstance. But then Sarah Palin was a great circumstance. And I liked her. And
that's exactly what turned me around on that.
Yeah, I seriously was going to vote third party.
I'm really voting for Sarah Palin.
But I was like, you know what, Sarah Palin, I like Sarah Palin. And she's fine. And
yes.
Maybe this is a good sign. She's obviously more conservative than him. And maybe it's a good sign. And you convince yourself. You get there. It's like you always talk about with your drinking, Glenn. Like you every day would wake up saying, I'm not going to have a drink today. And then 5 o'clock would come and you'd say, you know what is a good day to start that is tomorrow. And you'd look yourself in the mirror every morning.
Every day.
Well, because today's, you find excuses. Well,
every day I would say to myself, there is a reason. I can't do it. I'm too tired today. I'm too this. This has come up. I'm going to do it tomorrow.
It looks like I picked the wrong week to stop sniffing glue.
That's right.
It's that
and
old.
Then the next morning you get up and you look at yourself and you'd say, how pathetic. You knew this was going to happen. You make this same excuse every single day. Something comes up. And then I'd look at myself in the mirror and I'd say, not today. Today I'm not going to do it. There's no excuse. And it got to the point to where I couldn't look myself in the mirror anymore. I had to go and open the medicine cabinet and put the mirror and face the mirror to the wall before I could even go stand and brush my teeth because I couldn't look myself in the face anymore because I was such a liar to me. So pathetic, so weak. You can't stop. Well, you're right. That's exactly where we are. Every time we get up, every election we get up and we say, we're not going to vote for one of those guys. Well, but it is better than. He is better than
Hillary,
the Antichrist. He only has a 667 on his forehead. No.
I think it's 665 and a half.
665 and a half. He's really not close. Quite the Antichrist.
Almost, but not quite.
Yeah, not quite. Yeah, 667 would be worse than the Antichrist.
665.8.
I think 667 is what? Well, the 66 is on one cheek and the 7 is on another cheek of Chris Christie, I think.
Big numbers.
Yeah.
He has big cheeks.
By the way, the headline in the Daily News today, front page of the Daily News, fat chance now, Chris. It's cute. It's cute.
I don't think that's right.
No, it's really not.
I woke up this morning saying I wouldn't make a fat joke about Chris Christie, and here we are.
Well, tomorrow's a good day to start that.
Tomorrow I can start.
Tomorrow we can start
Jesus wouldn't have made a fat joke.
Oh, he would not have. No, he would not.
But Jesus lived 2,000 years ago without refrigeration, so there were not a lot of fat people.
Or microphones.
In
There were
fact,
no microphones.
people at the time were looked at as positive. I mean, people liked it when you were fat because it showed you
so
were
there's
wealthy.
no fat joke. So Jesus had an excuse. He didn't have to get up and make a fat joke.
People would be doing skinny jokes back
He
then.
didn't do a radio show either.
He didn't. So a fat bastard. I'm glad the New York
Daily News did Fat Chance now.
Yeah. fat loser.
Mm-hmm. Let us not forget, by the way, the guy who ran for president last time was thinking about putting this guy on the ticket and did not, because he seemed to find a lot of this sort of stuff when he was doing his background check.
But you'll notice that wasn't really explored by the press.
No, it was in the book.
I know, but not really explored. Mm-hmm. If you would have had that against somebody, Ted Cruz.
Oh my God!
Can you imagine if he would have said, "But we found a lot of stuff in the background." That's all that story. Those stories would have been everywhere.
Yeah,
they're going to John McCain this guy. They're going to love him like there's no tomorrow.
Then when he runs against Hillary, it's all over.
It's over. It's over. Mm-hmm. These guys, they never get it. The progressives on the right, they never get it. They think that, they all love me. They know I'm one of them, really. And then they go and they throw you into a buzzsaw. No. Because you claim to like the Constitution. You don't. If you had any respect for the Constitution, you would not hold 91-year-old grandmothers away from the hospital to punish your political foe.
Mm-hmm. I gotta see, man. I'm looking at these phones. I am not seeing a lot of Chris Christie defenders on them. Not seeing a lot of people. Come on, this is being blown out of proportion. This is not a big. I'd love to hear from you. I'd like to hear that.
I don't. Let me hear from Shelley in Colorado quickly. Hi, Shelley.
Okay, hey, before there was Fat and Furious, there was the Obama bromance on the beach before the election. And I contend that now that we know that Romney had considered Christie for vice president and took a pass, thankfully, now that we know how Christie treats his political adversaries, it's not hard to consider the fact that he probably threw the election because he didn't want to wait until 2020 to run.
No, that's...
If Romney had won, he would have had to wait until 2020.
You know, he might have been pissed because he was spurned. And that was a nice way to get back.
Shelley, good point.
That's a good point. Yeah.
He is the kind of guy, he's demonstrating now that he is vindictive.
Seemingly. Allegedly.
Oh, my gosh.
Definitely. I mean, sorry, that was the...
Definitely allegedly.
Is that a synonym to allegedly? Definitely?
Not quite.
No? I'm
but
not
you
good
make
with the
me
language.
think of Cinnabon, and so that's a good thing. Okay. Let's talk about FreedomWorks here. Prescription for America. FreedomWorks knows that Obamacare is going to kill us. They also know that you will most likely really be intent on stopping Obamacare more than you are even now by the time this next election rolls around for the midterms. And so they want to put together a campaign of reforms because everybody always says conservatives don't have the reforms on healthcare. How can you reform our medical system? Forget Obamacare. You repeal it and you get rid of it. But then what do you do to fix healthcare? Would you go to freedomworksforme.com? You'll find a list of reforms for America's healthcare system. Choose your top three favorite reforms, and they're going to help grassroots people get the word out and start to put together the message for the midterm election on healthcare reform, but they need your help. Choose your top three favorite reforms. Go to freedomworksforme.com. freedomworksforme.com.
The Glenn Beck Program.
Again broadcasting from the Blaze Radio Network.
Marcia's identity thief wasn't a stranger. It was her best friend, her roommate. She put Marcia close to $100,000 in debt. Marcia ended up losing her home. And a few years later, it almost happened a second time. But this time she was armed with proactive protection of LifeLock services. With LifeLock's help, Marcia was able to stop the fraudulent loan before it could damage her finances and good name. Marcia found out the hard way that no matter how careful we are, no one can stop all identity theft. But that's why I protect, and Marcia now protects herself with LifeLock Ultimate. Don't think identity theft will ever happen to you? Do what I did. Arm yourself with LifeLock Ultimate. Visit LifeLock.com/Beck and see the details and get a special 10% discount. Or you can call and use the promo code BECK. 1-800-440-4936. 1-800-440-4936. Network doesn't cover all transactions and scope may vary. 1-800-440-4936.
Habitat for Humanity of Marion County is a ministry dedicated to improving lives by providing affordable and decent housing. Help them help others by visiting the Habitat for Humanity Ocala home store on Northwest 27th Avenue. To schedule a donation, give them a call and they'll come and pick it up. For more information, visit habitatocala.org. Habitat for Humanity of Marion County, building homes, building hope, building community.
Howdy, RL here to tell you about a great deal at Dairy Queen. For only $4.49, you can warm up to a hot, juicy combo of either a foot-long, quarter-pound all-beef chili dog or a tasty home-style cheeseburger. Smoking hot off the char grill. Both get fries and a drink. You can add a sundae for only 99 cents. Now that's a doggone good deal at Dairy Queen, Silver Springs, where they always treat you like kings and queens.
This is a public notice. Local residents can now save thousands of dollars on their next car, truck, or SUV. It's not a tent sale, because no tent is big enough to hold this many cars. It's OcalaForSale.com. Say goodbye to sticker shock. OcalaForSale.com has thousands of vehicles with no stickers at all. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, less proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Frederick's Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Frederick's Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Frederick's Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Frederick's Appliance.
News Talk 1370, WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults, so use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000. 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370, WOCA.
Hey, I'm Gary. And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
You're listening to the Glenn Beck Program.
Yep. Yeah, it's interesting. Chris Christie has absolutely no friends because the media is not going to be with him.
They may drag him through this one little thing, but they'll bring it back up.
But they're
later
only they're only going to drag him through this.
His only friends, I think, are on the left.
Yep.
You know, MSNBC loves him.
Yeah,
because
Rush is against him. Sean is against him, isn't he? I think Mark is against him. Let's see. I'm just looking through some of the. I'm just looking through my Twitter feed. Glenn, politics is always about the picking of the lesser of two evils, while the right guy for the job is demonized for saying hard work. Any loss of life in this Christie scandal? Yes. Then I would think it would be manslaughter, would it not?
I
don't know.
It's a tough case.
I mean, if the family of this woman who died is, you have to imagine is going to sue or at least explore a lawsuit.
And I think they would have a case.
Seemingly, yeah.
Today's voter doesn't understand the issues. They just want somebody who cares and has hugs for them. For the last few years, Glenn, presidential elections have been like choosing which bowl of crap stinks the least.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so past voting for the lesser evil. I won't any longer. I won't vote for anyone who is part of the GOP. Well, I don't know if I go that far.
Ted Cruz is part of the GOP.
Ted Cruz is, Rand Paul is part of the GOP. Pat and Stu, what if Christie chooses Rand Paul or Ted Cruz for a running mate?
Yeah, no.
I'm done with the running. What does the running mate do for you?
Nothing.
And, it's so. I mean, look at Joe Biden is currently the vice president of the United States.
Don't say that out loud again.
that hurt you, didn't it? To realize that.
If you had fat in today's Glenn Beck word of the day drinking game, I'm sorry for you today. Could live without the Christie smackdown from Glenn Beck today. Romney was moral, and you cut him down too. No,
we did not cut him down.
We didn't cut him down. We didn't think that he was.
What did we do to Mitt Romney? Other than build him up when he was the candidate, we wanted him.
Yeah,
I mean, there were better choices in the beginning.
Better choices.
There were better choices.
I don't think we ever acted dishonorably on.
I don't think so.
Romney. Glenn, what happened to innocent and proven guilty in regard to Chris Christie? You sound like an angry program today with your fat comments.
Well, the innocent until proven guilty is a weird thing because if he's innocent, he's either completely incompetent or has created an environment in which this thing is going to be happily encouraged. Neither one of these options are good. Innocent or guilty in this case are not good.
Innocent until proven guilty is also a standard for a court of law, not a radio program. We're speculating here. I mean, we just believe he looks guilty, and that's what we talk about.
There's more than that, though.
We discuss the evidence.
This is not just some guy.
Look, I don't care. I'm not saying he gave the order.
We don't know yet.
I am saying that this guy has surrounded himself with people who would do this and think that it's a good thing. It's not just like, hey, I hired this guy. I didn't know this guy. This is his long-term friend. Yeah. This is a childhood friend who did this. So
poor judgment at the very least.
Is this childhood friend the one who would reach out to us from time to time and say, hey, Chris is really on your side, guys? Do you remember that? Wasn't there some childhood friend of his that used to reach out to us and say, hey, he's really on your side, but he doesn't want to...
I don't know if it's the same guy, though, but I don't know.
Jeez. By the way, the fat thing does matter. It does matter. It's about a lack of self-control.
Are you actually the one saying this right now?
No, yes, I am pudgy, but I am not morbidly obese.
Nor are you running for president. We should probably mention, thank heaven.
No, thank heaven.
Wait a minute.
Thank you. Small blessings, at least. Okay.
Seriously, thank you. Thank you, heaven.
The Glenn Beck Program.
The Blaze Radio Network.
Central banks across the globe are printing money in an attempt to artificially bolster their economies. We're doing it here. Many central banks are also setting interest rates at or near zero. That's got to go up. No economic theory ever has said you can print money into prosperity. When governments won't back their currency with hard assets like gold, you should consider placing yourself on your own gold standard. Diversify your portfolio with physical gold from the only company that I trust, Goldline. Call Goldline. Receive your free investor kit, 1-866-GOLDLINE. Ask them about the payment options and read their important risk information and find out if buying gold is right for you. They'll also include your free copy of the latest Precious Metals Insider, which is full of useful information about gold and silver markets, as well as a special medal personally designed by me. At Goldline, credit card orders receive the same price as cash and shipping is always free. So don't wait. 866-465-3546. Call Goldline today. 866-GOLDLINE.
For years now, you've heard me talk about the people at Tax Defense Partners and how they're the only tax resolution company that I would recommend to resolve any of the issues with the IRS. Well, one client of the founders of Tax Defense Partners is Joe from Tennessee. He wrote to me, he said, Glenn, I was in over my head with the IRS. I got a letter from him that my balance of $80,000 had exceeded what they would be willing to finance over 60 months. I didn't have $80,000. I didn't know what to do. He said, I listened to your program, I took your advice, and I called the people at Tax Defense Partners. I knew that if I didn't get their expert help, my future was basically bankruptcy court and financial ruin. They were ultimately able to get the IRS to accept my offer of $3,000. Happy? You bet. If you owe the IRS over $10,000, you're under audit, or you have unfiled returns, call Tax Defense Partners now. 866-TAX-DEFENSE. That's 866-829-3333. Tax Defense Partners. 866-TAX-DEFENSE. Or go to Tax Defense Partners.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
ABC News Now, I'm Daria Albinger. The governor of New Jersey says he is responsible for what happens on his watch, so he's fired a top staffer who ordered lane closures on the George Washington Bridge last year to punish a mayor who didn't support his re-election. That caused traffic jams that lasted for hours. Christie says he knew nothing of the scandal. We're doing more shopping online, and one of the largest department store chains is reacting. Macy's laying off 2,500 store employees and offering some of them jobs with its online operation. Botox may be getting some competition from bleach. Stanford University School of Medicine says household bleach may have anti-aging benefits, but before you do a laundry room facial, scientists say it's only worked so far in mice. An Oregon mother thought it was a mistake when her son's school called wanting to know why he wasn't in class. She says she put him on the bus that morning. Nearly an hour later, the 9-year-old who has autism was found on the empty bus, still wearing his seatbelt. This is ABC News.
Marcia's identity thief wasn't a stranger. It was her best friend, her roommate. She put Marcia close to $100,000 in debt. Marcia ended up losing her home. A few years later, it almost happened again. But this time, she was armed with the proactive protection of LifeLock services. Shockingly, she again knew the thief trying to steal her identity. It was her son's friend, attempting to get a loan in Marcia's name. With LifeLock's help, Marcia was able to stop the fraudulent loan before it could damage her finances and good name. Marcia found out the hard way that identity theft has become so complex, you simply can't find it alone. Your personal and financial information is everywhere. Don't make the mistake of thinking identity theft will never happen to you. Visit LifeLock.com now and enter promo code AWARE or call and mention AWARE for 10% off your LifeLock Ultimate membership. Call 1-800-305-2203. 800-305-2203. 800-305-2203.
Hi, Robin. You look tired.
I am. I've been running all over town.
Why? Why not drive?
I need to get the stupid document notarized.
Well, that's easy. You need personal service.
Duh. That's what I've been looking for.
You need to go see Mark at the Personal Service Center. He can notarize that for you, make copies, fax it wherever, or send it out in the mail. Heck, he can even scan it and email it for you.
Really? Where is he at?
2375 Northeast 25th Avenue, on the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street. You can call him at 789-6683.
Personal Service Center. Thanks, Larry.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Life jackets save lives. Wear it, Florida. Today will be mostly cloudy with a couple of showers, high 68 to 72. Cloudy and mild tonight with a shower or two. Patchy fog will develop late tonight and last into tomorrow morning, though tonight 60 to 64. Later tomorrow becoming partly sunny and warmer with a stray shower, the high 78 to 82. And for Saturday, clouds, some sun, breezy and warm with a shower and thunderstorm in the afternoon, high 77 to 81. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Joe Lundberg.
Hi, this is Joe from Damage Control Services. Join me Tuesdays at 10:30 when we discuss what to do when your property gets damaged, how to fix it fast, and get back on track. At Damage Control, we specialize in helping home and business owners recover from damage caused by floods, fires, storms, tree damage, mold, and all other insurance-related disasters. So when disaster strikes, big or small, call Damage Control Services. Call me 352-817-6574.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA, The Source.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Phoenix Promotional Solutions, your company supplier of banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Where you give them approved artwork by noon, the next day by 4 p.m., you pick up your banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404. That's 368-2404. Don't forget, they do vehicle wraps also. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404.
How good does it get?
Golf has long been considered to be sport's most prestigious game, and WOCA has your connection to everything in the golf world. Every first and third Thursday at 10 a.m., tune in for Let's Talk Golf with your host, PGA professional and teacher to the stars, Jim Beckett, and operations manager for the Links of Spruce Creek South, Darren Irwin, right here on The Source.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
You're about to hear is the fusion of entertainment and enlightenment. This is the Glenn Beck Program.
So I like it when the administration comes out and uses somebody like John Holdren, a guy who was for putting sterilants in drinking water because of the population explosion. I like it when they use him to come out and defend global warming and have the White House on record saying, yes, this cold snap is global warming.
I mean, if you didn't see it every day, you just wouldn't believe it because it's just too much. It stretches credulity too far. I can't. I mean, to start out as he does, saying, some of you may have heard that This recent cold snap we're having is evidence that there is no global warming. That's just not true, because no one weather event proves that. And then he goes on to say the opposite, that it actually is proof of global warming.
Stu, what book was it? Was it Inconvenient Book? That I made the case that you have to look at the facts on the ground.
Yeah, that was
yeah, that's the opening chapter of Inconvenient Book. Inconvenient Book. This is 2003, I think.
No, it was later than that. 2006.
Six. You're right. So I come out and I said, an Inconvenient Book, first chapter. I don't believe in man-made global warming, but global warming. Maybe we have to look into the facts. You'd be a fool to dismiss the facts that the temperature is going up. Is it because of CO2? Is it because of man-made CO2? I don't think so. But you'd be a fool not to look at the facts on the ground. And the facts on the ground at the time...
It had risen 0.7 degrees.
Right, so it had gone up. Now, I think that's cyclical. I think that's the way the Earth works. But... some people didn't at the time. These people are completely denying that we have not had any warming for 15 years now. They are completely denying what their eyes are showing them, what the facts on the ground are. We are not having the ice melt that they said we would have. They have been discredited every step of the way, and yet they are doubling down.
And yet listen to what Obama Science Advisor John Holdren said.
If you've been hearing that extreme cold spells, like the one that we're having in the United States now, disproves global warming, don't believe it. The fact is that no single weather episode can either prove or disprove global climate change.
Sure.
Climate is the pattern of weather that we observe geographically.
Okay,
and
stop.
over the...
So let's look at the pattern for the last 15 years. What is the pattern saying, John?
No warming.
There's no warming. Now, let me give you another big pattern that shows that they're lying. They spent literally billions of dollars globally making sure everyone understood the phrase global warming.
Mm-hmm.
But soon as the pattern changed, they went to global climate change. So that shows they are intentionally lying to you because they know the pattern has changed. They know the pattern is not pointing to global warming. So they knew we better change the name of this thing. They recognize the pattern is different. So what he's saying here is you got to look at the pattern. You have looked at the pattern. And the phrase right before you saying look at the pattern tells us you know the pattern because you're now calling it global climate change.
And yeah, okay, so now he said, if people are telling you that this is evidence there's no global warming, don't believe it.
Can we stop real quick and just ask the question, is anyone saying that?
No.
Is anyone saying that because it's cold for 2 weeks?
Not that I've heard. No.
That disproves global warming? No. I mean, there's other evidence that people think that disproves global warming or disproves the theories behind it. But saying that it's cold for 2 weeks, that's our point.
Yeah.
Every time it's hot in the summer for 2 weeks, you say it's because of global warming, and we say you can't say weather for 2 weeks is the proof of global warming. You're making our point here.
Listen to the rest of it.
Seasons, and it's described in terms of averages, variations, and probabilities. But a growing body of evidence suggests that the kind of extreme cold being experienced by much of the United States as we speak.
Okay, so he's setting it up. But the cold we have now is
a pattern that we can expect to see with increasing frequency
as
global warming continues. And the reason is this. In the warming world that we're experiencing, the far north, the Arctic, is warming roughly twice as rapidly as the mid-latitudes, such as the United States. That means that the temperature difference between the Arctic and the mid-latitudes is shrinking.
Okay,
and that
stop.
temperature difference
To drag John Holdren out at this point shows how freaked out they are.
Yeah, it does.
They are freaked out beyond belief. They know the wheels have come off of this thing. And that's good. That's really a good thing. Can I show you, if you happen to be watching us on TV or online, I want to show you a piece of art. We brought in Ben McPherson. He is I think, one of the best artists in the country today. He's a filmmaker, and he is the head of the American Dream Labs. And we just relocated the American Dream Labs here into Texas, and He sent me an email last night, and he is here in my hallway at the studios last night about 10 o'clock. And he's like, hey, I just put some artwork up because I was tired of looking at this wall. I want to show you something. So he puts this artwork up, and if you're looking, that's the main hallway of our studio center here. And it is enormous, and it's David and Goliath. And it is this unbelievable graffiti art that he did of the New York Times trying to stamp out the little guy, and the little guy with the slingshot and the head of the Blaze. And I saw this last night, and we were talking about it. There has got to be people who own buildings all around the country that are in high traffic areas. This is not hard to put up. He put this up with Elmer's glue, and I think it cost him $300 to make these 3 strips. If you own a building in high traffic areas and you wouldn't mind putting this up on the side of your building, and the way to do this, the way the left would do this is they would just go out in the middle of the night because it takes you less than an hour to put it up. And the way they would do it is they would just go put these up all over in graffiti form. But we might be revolutionaries, but we still, unfortunately, color within the lines. So if you own a building, would you email us? Would you, Stu, where could they write?
Just send it to me@glenbeck.com.
Me@glenbeck.com? Yeah. And just tell us, show us your building that you own. Tell us where it is. And we'll try to be in touch. Because I think we have another one. I have another one being made today. I asked Joel West, who is another incredible artist that we have. I don't know if you guys have. I don't know if you've seen the artwork that these guys are starting to put up, but we have just these great artists that work for us now, and they're all young and cutting edge, and they're rebels. But anyway, I have one that he's working on today of Ariana Huffington from the Huffington Post with Bill Gates and George Soros. She looks a little like Marie Antoinette, and George Soros has one of those little black warts on his face like they used to in the French. And it just says, don't you hate income inequality, darling? And that comes from, I don't know if you saw the story today. Huffington World is about to go online. The Huffington Post World. They already are in I don't know how many countries. They haven't broken even yet. They are still not profitable. It's incredible. We are approaching now. They are way ahead of everybody else. Do you happen to have the list of where everybody is, Stu? With our 25 million uniques, who does that put us ahead of? We're ahead of Fox News, and I think are we ahead of CNN? I know we're ahead of CBS, ABC. We might be ahead of CNN.com. I'm not sure. We're the 10th most viral site, but we at least break even. We're not flush with cash, but we are breaking even. The Huffington Post has raised hundreds of millions of dollars, and they're still in the red. And they don't pay their reporters anything. All of the money is going to the top people. We are now approaching them. I mean, we're a great deal of distance between us. They're way ahead of everybody else. But they've just created another New York Times. And so they're announcing this new Huffington Post world, for the little people. And where are they announcing it? At Davos. And Bill Gates is one of the big investors in it. Could you get more out of touch with the average person than announcing that you are the new press source for the little people at Davos? I mean, it's a comedy show. It's just a comedy show. And I was talking to our artist here at the Blaze yesterday, and I went into the section of this building where we have all of our graphic designers, and I said, guys, we are the new revolutionaries. And it's time we start acting like it. We are the new revolutionaries. Like it or not, these guys are the man. They have all of the power. They have all of the tools. They have all of the money. They have all of the media. We're the little guy. We're David. They're Goliath. The little guy wins. But we have to stop acting and looking and sounding like the establishment, because we're not. We are anti-establishment. I am proud to say it. I am anti-establishment. And I don't care. That's not about the president. You put fat Chris Christie into the Oval Office. I'm anti-establishment. This establishment has gotten to be so big and so out of control to where, you know, the story that I love today is the story out of Pennsylvania. They couldn't get medicine to old people. And so you know who delivered the medicine to the elderly? Pizza delivery people. Because the pizza delivery people were out and could get out. And so the pizza delivery people started to deliver pizza. That's who we are. You got a problem? We figure it out. You got a problem? We work it out. Now, I can guarantee you that the man will say, well, we got to stop that kind of stuff. What do you mean? The pizza delivery people they're moving drugs now? Well, we've got to, what? 20-somethings are people, and everybody under 30 understands this. There are no limits anymore. There are no super highways that you have to get on. You can get to any location from any place now for the first time in human history. You don't have to go through certain gates. You don't have to have certain badges or anything else. This is the American dream. This is the time for the American dream to really flourish. But our parties, Republican and Democrat, have convinced us that we still need them. We don't. They need us. They're taking our money. Defund both of them. They're taking our money. And when they can't get enough money from us, they have to go to the Bill Gates of the world and get his money. You know, you don't need it. I'm about to launch something on the Blaze that everybody, even in my own company, says is nuts. And it may turn out it might be absolutely nuts. I don't think it is. I just don't think it is. And I have a notebook full of things that I need to accomplish. And I don't have Bill Gates. But I think we can accomplish them with you. And for instance, need a big advertising campaign. Well, I don't think advertising campaigns work anymore. Unless you have a microphone like ours and you can connect with people like-minded, lots of them. Otherwise, it's just a totally different world. I don't want to put up billboards or anything else. But I'll bet you that there's somebody in this audience that has some buildings all around the country. You might have a building someplace. Somebody else might have another one. You believe in the Blaze? You believe in us? We'd like to send some artwork your way. Put it up on your building for us. Show us pictures. We'll show your office. We'll show your building. We'd love to have your help. Me at glennbeck.com. Sponsor this half hour is LifeLock. Prior to joining LifeLock, one of our listeners, Francine, she was buying a home, and a neighbor came over. She didn't know the neighbor was a dirtbag. He took pictures of all of the stuff that was sitting out on her kitchen table. She has no idea the guy is going to go take payroll loans. He's going to go try to take money out of her bank account, and does open up new credit accounts under her name because he has all of her information. He does it. She is now really stuck. Her credit just goes downhill, not able to buy the house. She reaches out to LifeLock. Now, LifeLock can't help you unless you're a customer. But with Francine, they did everything they could to help instruct her on how to clean things up. And she got it cleaned up. And then they stood guard for anything else. And since she's had LifeLock, a lot more has come. And they've taken care of all of that. Francine is in her new house. I will tell you, especially with healthcare going the way it is, your information is going to be everywhere. You need somebody to protect your information, and it's LifeLock. I have LifeLock. Everybody in my family has LifeLock, and it has already saved us several times.
LifeLock. Go to lifelock.com/Beck. lifelock.com/Beck. You'll get a 10% discount if you go there and enter the promo code Beck. Or you can just give them the promo code Beck at 800-440-4936. 800-440-4936. lifelock.com/Beck. 1-800-440-4936.
Glenn Beck.
The Blaze Radio Network.
If you're a homeowner who's faithfully made your mortgage payments, you deserve thanks for doing the right thing. And I'd like to tell you about a powerful financial tool that rewards your commitment. Hi, I'm Jay Farner, president of Quicken Loans. And the tool that I'm talking about is the Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HARP. HARP is designed to help you lower your mortgage payments. It's for homeowners who are current on their mortgage payments, but due to the housing market may have little or no equity left in their home. And even if you were unable to get a HARP loan in the past, new guidelines mean that now you may be eligible. More than 2.5 million homeowners have already taken advantage of HARP and are saving an average of $250 a month. If you're one of the millions yet to take advantage, call us today at 800-QUICKEN. To learn more, call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com. That number again is 800-QUICKEN.
Important terms and conditions apply. Call us for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Trauma care centers save thousands of Florida lives.
But Shands UF wants to close Ocala Regional's trauma center.
An out-of-town hospital that receives millions in taxpayer money is suing to shut down Ocala's trauma center. They want to pull the plug on life-saving trauma care all over Florida. Don't let them get away with it. Trauma care increases the chance of survival in traumatic injuries by 25%. 25%.
That's right. But only 2 in 5 Floridians have the access to trauma care they need. And that's not even close to good enough.
We don't need less access to trauma care. We need more.
It's time for Shands UF to stop putting profits ahead of patients.
Stop playing political games.
Visit SaveOurTraumaCenters.org to find out how you can help keep Ocala's Trauma Center open and protect life-saving trauma care. Save more lives. Save our trauma centers. Paid for by the 60 Plus Association.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
Stay informed on everything going on in the villages with the Village Spectator newspaper. The Village Spectator is exclusively devoted to the villages with news, commentary, and more. And yes, they have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 804-1223 and pick up your copy of the Village Spectator today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
Okay. All right. I love this. And now the listeners are getting involved in Fat and Furious. Now this is a movie poster. Fat and Furious, Revenge is sweet and probably salty. Fat and Furious, rated P for progressive.
They're so good together, the sweet and the salty. And Chris knows that better than anyone, I think.
This is beneath you, Stu.
Beneath me? Why is it beneath me?
No, you're right. You're right. It's not.
Is that my poster?
Yeah. No, I meant just making fun of his fatness.
Oh, well, that's not beneath me at all.
You're right.
Yeah. I mean,
it's beneath me.
It's okay for me to make fat jokes because, everyone on this show is gigantic. We all have our...
Well, you two out of the 3 are.
Well, you forgot Jeffy, who's sick today. Who raises our average to all of us being disgusting. This is the most disgusting television show ever produced.
Well, I'd like all of us to agree. Let's say there's 4 because of Jeffy. Mm-hmm. I'd like us all to agree that 3 are disgusting.
And then we just never name
And
who.
we never name who. So when we're saying that, we can all feel good about ourselves.
Yes, I think I completely agree with this.
So everybody can agree 3 of the 4.
3 of the 4 are
just
absolutely
totally
disgusted.
Yeah, one is not. One is not.
One is not. I mean, not exactly the picture of health, but 3 out of the 4.
I can go along with that.
Yeah, totally.
As long as we never name the person.
And we never name the person that is not
fat
and disgusting.
And Jeffy will just know it's
never
not him.
There's no way.
Yeah, it's not him.
Yeah, he'll be thinking, which one of the 3 other guys is not?
I like that. I like that.
He wrote last night, he's like, I'm really, really sick. And I'm like, of what? Working?
Yeah, it's been 2 days.
It's been 2 days. You had 2 weeks off, and he comes back and he's sick. Oh, I am so sick.
You can't expect him to work 3 consecutive days during a year. You can't expect that from Jeffy. So,
and obviously
and then you couldn't expect him to work 3 out of 4.
No,
so he's not here today either.
And obviously the talk is that a shipment has arrived over the border, and maybe he's unloading
and he's
products.
tending to that.
Yeah. And he's got some side businesses. We're not.
He's a businessman.
Yeah,
of sorts.
That's one way to describe it. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Think about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Think about it. Israel is concerned that John Kerry supports boycotts against them.
Of course he does.
Israeli officials are expressing concern that Secretary John Kerry is quietly supporting European threats to boycott Israeli entities in the West Bank, East Jerusalem, and the Golan Heights.
But I don't know. I mean, this is the guy who stood there and said...
We shouted out across that chasm.
The chasm.
Yisrael high, Israel lives.
So how could he now support boycotts there when he shouted out across the chasm? How's that possible? So do you think he's quietly supporting boycotts against Israel?
No.
Boy, they do.
No. Somebody in this administration standing against Israel?
Yeah.
They only wanted something reasonable, the 68 borders.
Right.
That's all they...
That's all.
That's all they...
The Glenn Beck Program.
Blaze Radio Network.
FNN News, I'm Deborah Roberts. Governor Rick Scott is in the Tampa area today to announce the addition of 250 jobs at Air Products and Chemicals in Palmetto. While there, Scott was asked about former Governor Charlie Crist, calling him a terrible governor, and Crist's memoir due out next month.
Well, look, I ran on a campaign getting our state back to work, 7 steps to 700,000 jobs. In 2 years and 11 months, we've done 446,000 jobs.
Governor Scott says the state has also recorded record-breaking tourism numbers this year. Crist, who was a Republican when he was governor, is running against Scott as a Democrat. Meanwhile, they admit there's not much chance it will pass, but Democrats in the Florida legislature are backing a bill to increase the minimum wage. Senator Dwight Bullard says it's one small way to try to narrow the gap between rich and poor.
Our hope is to really take a proactive step in closing what has been a growing income inequality gap here, not only in the state of Florida, but in the country as a whole.
Florida's current minimum wage is $7.93 per hour, and if the bill passes, it would increase to $10.10 per hour. Business lobbyists are dead set against it, which means the bill isn't going anywhere in the state legislature. And it has nothing to do with Mother Nature, but last month, 19% of all homes in the nation were deeply underwater. John Conrad reports Florida trailed only Nevada in the rate of homes whose value is well below the mortgage amount.
RealtyTrack, a firm that compiles data on U.S. housing trends, says that's down from 23% in September. Deeply underwater means the loans taken out on the house are at least 25% higher than the property's appraised value. Nevada leads the country. Florida is number 2, with over a third of residential properties severely upside down, including 33% of the homes in Miami, 36% in Orlando. Tampa, with 35%, tied with the city of Detroit. I'm John Conrad.
With news on the Florida News Network, I'm Deborah Roberts.
Calling all makeup lovers. Bare Minerals Foundation just won its 9th Glammy Award for Best Prestige Foundation. And to celebrate, we're offering risk-free trials to all women nationwide. That's right. Every woman who calls right now can get a full-size risk-free trial of our #1 selling foundation. Plus, a free 5-piece makeup set. For yours, call 1-800-951-8486. This is an exclusive radio-only offer you don't want to miss. Bare Minerals Foundation gives you flawlessly beautiful coverage with a no-makeup feel, and it's clinically proven to promote clearer, healthier-looking skin for all skin types. No wonder it's won 9 Grammys in a row, and now you can try it for yourself. Call now to find out how you can participate in our nationwide risk-free trial and join the millions who've already tried Bare Minerals Foundation and fallen in love with their skin again. Plus, we'll send you a free 5-piece makeup set, our gift to you. Hurry, don't miss this exclusive radio-only offer. 1-800-951-8486. 1-800-951.
Cookies, 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 cookies. When you want something special and fun for any occasion, get cookies. That's right. The Great American Cookie Company in the Paddock Mall, Ocala will make a delicious, fun-filled delight just for you. You might notice that I said fun and delicious more than once. That's because I can't say it enough. The next time you're at the mall, be sure and stop by or call 352-237-2557 to place your order. Cookies, cookies, Yum. cookies, cookies. We go cookie eating cookies. The Great American Cookie Company.
Legally Yours, brought to you by Fuller & Fuller Attorneys at Law. On the air every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. with John Fuller, a board-certified civil trial lawyer for over 25 years. John welcomes your questions, from business to complex family matters to legal disputes. So tune in every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. for Legally Yours with John Fuller, right here on WOCA 1370 a.m. and 96.3 FM, The Source.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Our tractor services include bush hog, disking, front end loader, box blade, and stump grinding. We also have zero-turn mowers for the smaller paddocks, aisleways, fence rows, and lawn care. Fence row spraying is also available for weed control. We are licensed and insured. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440, or online at powellgene, Gene, @yahoo.com. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
WOCA, Ocala.
Program returns.
Marcus Luttrell, the lone survivor, is going to be with me just after the top of the hour. In case you missed last night's program, first of all, we explained what is happening with the Federal Reserve in Germany, and it is so extraordinarily disturbing, and it's disturbing on so many fronts. It's not just rehypothecation, and if you don't know what that is, watch last night's show on demand at theblaze.com. But it's not just rehypothecation. I believe it is much, much worse than what we thought the situation was with the gold in the Federal Reserve. I think there's a good chance there is no gold or very little gold in the Federal Reserve. I believe that they may have taken JP Morgan Chase and whatever other banks are involved with the Federal Reserve and liquidated a lot of that gold and just made bets on it. Well, you know what? It's JP Morgan Chase. They'll make the money back, and then you just replace the gold. And I just don't think... I think they've been playing fast and loose with that gold, and it's the world's reserves. And the only reason why I believe this is because we know rehypothecation has happened already. We know that they have resold that gold over and over and over again in paper. I thought they actually still had the gold. But when we told Germany we couldn't send them back their gold until for 7 years, but we would make in payments on that gold. We would send them, I don't remember what it was. I don't know, 70 tons or something like that. By the end of the year, and we would send them like 70 tons for the next 10 years. I thought that's because of rehypothecation. They needed about 10 years to figure that out. Unfortunately, I don't think that's the case because we didn't send them 70 tons. We sent them 37 tons. So we didn't even make the first installment. Beyond that, when we sent them the 37 tons of gold, we said we had to melt it down first. So all of the markings, and if you knew do you remember the movie The Italian Job? You don't remember that at all?
Car chases in Mini Coopers. That's all I remember about that.
Yeah, do you remember the gold? And they knew the gold had the lady dancing on it was like an Asian marking. And at one point, that's why the one guy who is fencing the gold, at one point, he's like, oh, the dancing lady. Yeah, remember that? And he's like, oh, the dancing lady. This is that. And that's why he gets a bullet in the head, because he recognized what that gold was. And so he knew where it had come from. And that's why nobody could. So when we get gold, it is stamped. It's stamped with the country, it's stamped with the weight, and it's marked so you know whose gold is gold, whose gold this belongs to. Well, we melted Germany's down. Now, why would we do that? I think we melted Germany's gold down a long, long time ago. This is new gold. I think there's the heist of the century has happened. No, not the heist of the century. The heist of all mankind's history has happened sometime between now and 1950. And if you want to understand that, you can watch last night's episode on the Blaze TV. But we better wake up. Also, Marcus Luttrell was on last night. And Marcus, it was a really heartfelt interview between the two of us. And I have never seen him better. And all the time I have known him, I've never seen him better, never seen him healthier. And he's going to be on with us coming up in just a few minutes. But I think it's because this burden of telling this story is off of him. And if this movie does really well, he'll never have to tell this story ever again. He'll never have to, go on the circuit and talk about things. He can just talk about other people's stories, et cetera, et cetera. And
I don't think there's any chance this movie doesn't do well.
It's rated R, so it will cut the audience down.
Yeah, a little bit, but still, really good R-rated movies usually do exceptionally well.
If my son was 13 years old, I would take him to this. Now, it's riddled with the F word. Riddled with the F word.
And tad violent as well.
I was going to say, it's riddled with the F word, but it is also unbelievably violent.
Yeah.
But it's, I saw Saving Private Ryan. This makes that look like a cartoon, I think. This is so real and so gritty, and so it just feels real.
And the power of knowing it is real, unlike Saving Private Ryan, which had a lot of realistic parts to it, but wasn't a true story.
Yeah, this is a true story.
True story that this guy actually went through this. These guys, these heroes, actually did this stuff. I mean, I can't wait to see it. I still haven't seen it. I'm going to go see it on Saturday night. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
I watched it with Marcus Luttrell sitting next to my wife. And he said to me last night, I said, what was it like watching? And he said, I have to tell you, I was wondering what it was like for you to watch it. He said, I lived it. And he said, I saw what it did to you. And he said, sitting next to me, it must have been really hard. He said, I felt bad for you because we're good friends. And I said, well, I saw it with all of your SEAL buddies around you. And I said, I just was a girl, because it's an assaulting movie. It really is. It's intense. And I asked some of the guys on our protective detail, I said, so is that what it's like? And they said, oh, yes, sir. That's what battle's like. That's exactly what it feels like. And you will walk out with such respect for our soldiers and our fighting men and women. It's really intense. You'll love it. You'll love it. Really good movie. Marcus Luttrell comes up in just a minute. Let me go to Randy in Ohio. Hello, Randy. You're on the Glenn Beck program.
Man, I just thought of something to get the word out.
Yeah.
Rolling billboards. I'm an independent trucker, and every independent trucker I hear hates what the government's done to us. And a lot of times on semis, you see on the back doors a big sticker like advertising different churches and things. So that's a way to really get it across the country.
Oh, you're saying make a giant Blaze sticker?
They're like 2 they're probably like I don't know, 16 by 12 stickers.
Yeah.
They put on back of semi doors.
Yeah, I've seen them.
And I mean, yeah. And so there you go. Clear across the country.
Well, we'll
you could, distribute them, to truck stops or something. And I'm telling you, the trucking industry drivers are just getting hammered.
Can I ask you that? Oh, I know they are. Can I ask you something, Randy? If I wanted to distribute something at a truck stop, is there room for anything besides the Duck Dynasty stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Man,
boy, I love that. I loved it when they started saying they were going to come out and have their own guns and everything. That is perfect.
Those guys are machines. Just machines.
But that's this country. I'm in Colorado right now, just getting ready to go across to pick up potatoes from the potato farm in southern Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to a farmer 2 weeks ago when I was out here, and he said, the grassroots is going to rise up. And I said, well, they already did. Duck Dynasty. And that's what the working people, that's what they believe. But we got, I can tell you this, I'd say to my friends, the best way to create jobs, and you might want to take this off the air, I don't know. the best job in the country right now would be to give everybody a hard hat and a sledgehammer and go to Washington, D.C. and knock all the urinals out because they all sit down to pee.
Okay.
All right. Long way to the well.
All right, but it was a good well.
Yeah,
it was
good well.
So
good payoff.
relatively speaking, good water there.
Yeah. It's funny too. I get a kick out of like everyone, and I have the same vibe of like, wow, these Duck Dynasty guys, man, they know what they're doing. They're amazing. They just the dynasty part of Duck Dynasty is a 9-figure business. These guys are not idiots. The reason you know who they are is because they built a business from scratch that's worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
They're really, really brilliant, and I'm bummed that all of that happened while we were off the air because that was amazing to watch. It was amazing to watch.
To see everybody pretty much fold for them. That was interesting.
Yeah, I think there's going to be
caved.
This is the quiet. We're in the eye of the hurricane because the left, the uber left, the Glads of the world. Which, by the way, I said I would stand with them on the hetero-fashion Russian. That doesn't mean I stand with them on anything else. Mm-hmm. They're I don't like their tactics, and I think they're homo-fascist at times. They wouldn't appreciate my church's opinion. Well, wait a minute, hang on just a second. If I'll stand for your opinion, you got to stand for my opinion, and we all get along. The idea is there's no fascist. Nobody tries to kill each other. Nobody tries to silence each other.
Really, no need for the qualifiers there. Fascism.
I'm against fascism. So anybody who engages in fascism, I can't help you. If you want to stand against fascism, I'll stand with you against fascism. Anyway, thanks so much for your phone call. I was really amazed to see how the Duck Dynasty thing happened. And when it first came down, I thought, A&E doesn't have any idea who they're dealing with. They don't have any idea who they're dealing with. Now, I hope you understand at this point, you better know who you're dealing with, because who you're dealing with now, they operate in the shadows. They operate in very nasty sort of ways. And so this battle is not over by any stretch of the imagination. Let me quickly go to Mike in New Jersey. Mike, I've got about a minute. Go ahead.
Hey, how you doing, Glenn?
Good.
I'm calling in, probably shocked, but I'm a huge Chris Christie supporter, and I'm not really worried about this, quote, huge Republican scandal. Chris Christie has done what he said he would do as a politician, and that was cut taxes in New Jersey, and I commend him for it. I don't agree with every point. I might not like his way, his gruffness when he comes across, but he's gotten the job done. And you know what? He's the first politician in a long time that's gotten the job done.
So do ends justify the means?
No, I can't, quote the scandal because I don't know all the details to it. I don't know.
Okay, well, you should find out the scandal. You should find out the scandal, because if you support somebody who will create the atmosphere using his friends. Now, maybe he didn't approve of the shutdown himself, but he hired all of the people around him, and they're his friends. It's not like I had an open call for people who wanted to work for me, and I guess we dropped the ball on finding out the character of the people. These are his good, long-term, lifetime friends who did it. And so if you think that punishing by closing streets down and punishing citizens for the way a mayor decides to get behind a campaign or work against his campaign, if you think that that's cool, we're not on the same side, Mike. But find out about the scandal and then call us back. Thanks so much for your phone call. Here's our sponsor. It's Liberty Safe. Liberty Safe, best built safes on the planet, bar none. Really, really great safes. We have a safe right here off the side of the set where we keep all of our rare antiquities. Things from George Washington and Ben Franklin, all in that safe. Why do I keep them here? I mean, these are irreplaceable because I know Liberty Safe is top rated for fire, but also when, and they can't advertise this, they can't say this, but I can, as my opinion on what I've seen, things that are burning a lot longer, they're rated for. Sometimes I have seen them when they have burned a lot hotter and a lot longer, and still the stuff inside is not burned. It has not been destroyed. I've seen Liberty Safes when the whole house has been sucked up by a tornado, and the safe is found a block away, or the safe is found and everything in it is fine, or the safe is found still bolted to the ground. The house is completely gone. It's an empty slab, and there's the Liberty Safe, and everything inside is fine. You want to take care of your stuff. You want to make sure the best is protecting all of your guns and your ammo and everything else, all your document and pictures. Liberty Safe. LibertySafe.com. LibertySafe.com.
Oh, here I am. Hello, America.
The Glenn Beck Program.
The Blaze Radio Network.
Strike up a hot deal during John Deere's Green Fever sales event. Get 0% financing for 60 months on new compact 5D and 5E tractors. Plus, get $1,000 off new 3E tractors when you buy 2 implements. Hurry in today and save. Offer ends February 3rd, 2014, subject to approved credit on John Deere Financial Installment Plan. Some restrictions apply. See participating dealer for details.
Visit your local John Deere dealer today to take advantage of special savings going on now. Find out more at myjohndeeredealer.com.
AMAC is fighting for you, your voice, your freedom, for our Constitution, for our financial solvency of our government and our collective future. AMAC, more than just a conservative alternative to AARP.
AMAC believes in faith, family, freedom, a strong Second Amendment, lower taxes, and free enterprise.
They're the group I proudly belong to, and I strongly encourage you to help keep America strong. Go to AmericaIsRising.com, AmericaIsRising.com, or call 888-262-2006.
That is one sound no one likes to hear, but if it happens, know that it will be reported in seconds to the right authorities. AA Lock, Dock, and Security is your company for your home and your business. AA Lock, Dock, and Security, where you can get that extra key made or have your lock rekeyed. Questions to protect your home and business? Call 352-867-1965. Or stop by AA Lock, Dock, and Security at their new location, 219 Northwest 10th Street here in Ocala. Remember, be proactive, not reacting after it happens. Call 352-867-1965. 352-867-1965.
Howdy, RL here to tell you about a great deal at Dairy Queen. For only $4.49, you can warm up to a hot, juicy combo of either a foot-long, quarter-pound all-beef chili dog or a tasty, home-style cheeseburger. Smoking hot off the char grill. Both get fries and a drink. You can add a sundae for only 99 cents. Now that's a doggone good deal at Dairy Queen, Silver Springs, where they always treat you like kings and queens.
This is a public notice. Local residents can now save thousands of dollars on their next car, truck, or SUV. It's not a tent sale, because no tent is big enough to hold this many cars. It's OcalaForSale.com. Say goodbye to sticker shock. OcalaForSale.com has thousands of vehicles with no stickers at all. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge, undercutting, less proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
News Talk 1370 WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults. So use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000. 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370 WOCA.
Hey, I'm Gary. And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
Glenn Beck.
I haven't started my sugar-free diet. It's going to come as a surprise. I just wanted you to know that. I don't want anybody out there thinking that, why is Glenn looking so svelte? Well, no, it's not the diet.
We're not getting a lot of that on social media.
You're not? You sure?
Look
again. Meryl Streep is claiming that Walt Disney was a racist, anti-Semite, and anti-women. Really? Well, if you haven't seen Saving Mrs. Banks, Mr. Banks yet, you need to see that movie.
What a great movie that is.
Really great movie. You saw it?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I loved it. I hadn't, and I guess given the title, it's no surprise, but I had no idea Mary Poppins was about saving Mr. Banks.
I had no idea either.
I've watched the movie with the kids, 100 times.
Once you look at it and you see in the end.
Yeah, then you get
you're like, oh, yeah.
But you never think of it that way. And then it's always really fun. And right after we saw the movie, we went home and watched Mary Poppins with that whole new perspective.
Yeah.
And it really changes the movie.
Yeah.
It was cool. And to watch Disney in that setting get those things done and see him maneuver the way he did. And you said it was, from what you know of him, pretty accurate, right?
I think it's very accurate. I think there's one part that is...
You didn't see him anti-women in any way.
No, I think...
that's an accurate portrayal. Do you know him to be anti-women?
No, I think he was a guy who...
It was the 1930s and 40s.
Yeah, it was in that particular case, it was the 1960s.
Yes.
But, it was a part where the open-minded guys were the rat pack calling women dames.
Yeah.
So,
right.
Was he anti-women? No, it was the 1950s and 60s.
Did he have today's mentality?
No.
Probably not.
No.
In Hollywood,
I can't stand this.
You'd recognize this argument because you make it every time we say Woodrow Wilson was a racist, or that was just part of the time.
Margaret Sanger.
Yeah, Margaret Sanger. She wanted to kill a whole group of people, but that was part of the time. That was the you should recognize
every time they want to destroy somebody, they do this to them.
Yeah.
Walt Disney was an amazing man and fought the power. Was not a friend of Hollywood at the time. Wouldn't be a friend of Hollywood today.
Program.
The Blaze Radio Network.
You like toast? I like toasted bagels, toasted bread, even occasional toasted English muffins, as long as it has peanut butter on it. But when it comes to the computer files here at the Blaze, I definitely don't want them to fall into the toast category. So we use Carbonite to back up our files. Now, what about your business? Are your computer files backed up automatically and continually every time you are on the internet, or do they fall into the toast category? What about your external hard drives? Carbonite.com. Make 2014 a productive, proactive year. Get Carbonite today and make sure your business doesn't slow down or shut down because you lost your computer files and couldn't get them back. Carbonite.com. Find out for yourself how easy it can be to back up your files. Start a free trial today with no credit card required at Carbonite.com. Use my name and it gets even better. Hard to believe it's true, but it is. Use Glenn for the offer code and you'll get 2 free bonus months if you decide to buy. Find out for yourself how easy it can be to back up your files. It's Carbonite.com, offer code Glenn.
Strike up a hot deal during John Deere's Green Fever sales event. Get 0% financing for 60 months on new compact 5D and 5E tractors. Plus, get $1,000 off new 3E tractors when you buy 2 implements. Hurry in today and save. Offer ends February 3rd, 2014, subject to approved credit on John Deere Financial Installment Plan. Some restrictions apply. See participating dealer for details.
Visit your local John Deere dealer today to take advantage of special savings going on now. Find out more at myjohndeeredealer.com.
AMAC is fighting for you, your voice, your freedom, for our Constitution, for our financial solvency of our government, and our collective future. AMAC, more than just a conservative alternative to AARP.
AMAC believes in faith, family, freedom, a strong Second Amendment, lower taxes, and free enterprise.
They're the group I proudly belong to, and I strongly encourage you to help keep America strong. Go to americaisrising.com, americaisrising.com, or call 888-26...
Hi, Carl Champley here. Join me every Saturday afternoon for DIY Live, your complete guide to getting that DIY project started and finished the right way.
And when you need the right product for that do-it-yourself project, visit the DIY Home Center outlet right here in Ocala, just 2 miles east of I-75 on Northwest 10th Street. From carpet to doors to real wood cabinets, visit the DIY Home Center outlet today and tune in to DIY Live.
That's DIY Live Saturdays right here on WOCA, The Source.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line and a new spoiler and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
WOCA, keeping you in touch with Ocala. Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala. ABC News Now, I'm Daria Albinger. Fewer Americans are filing for unemployment. The number of people seeking benefits fell last week by 15,000, and that decline could signal fewer layoffs and steady job growth. He isn't talking. The governor of New Jersey's point ban for the agency that oversees tunnels and bridges took the fifth at a hearing today over those lane closures at the George Washington Bridge. Earlier today, Governor Chris Christie announced he'd fired the staffer he says was behind the closures, who he says were to punish a mayor who didn't support Christie's reelection bid. If you're heading for the Winter Olympics, pack your carry-on carefully. Russia is banning all liquids in them in the weeks leading up to the games in Sochi. Call it the Grinch effect. A number of heart transplant patients die because they get hearts that are far too small for their bodies. Scientists at the universities of Iowa and Maryland schools of medicine say it's because donors and recipients are matched up by weight, and they say it may be time to change that standard. This is ABC News.
If you're a homeowner who's faithfully made your mortgage payments, you deserve thanks for doing the right thing. And I'd like to tell you about a powerful financial tool that rewards your commitment. Hi, I'm Jay Farner, president of Quicken Loans. And the tool that I'm talking about is the Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HARP. HARP is designed to help you lower your mortgage payments. It's for homeowners who are current on their mortgage payments, but due to the housing market may have little or no equity left in their home. And even if you were unable to get a HARP loan in the past, new guidelines mean that now you may be eligible. More than 2.5 million homeowners have already taken advantage of HARP and are saving an average of $250 a month. If you're one of the millions yet to take advantage, call us today at 800-QUICKEN. To learn more, call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to quickenloans.com. That number again is 800-QUICKEN.
Important terms and conditions apply. Call us for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states.
At Palm Chevrolet, we're starting 2014 with a renewed commitment to you, our customers. Now, what does that mean? Well, for starters, it means breaking away from the pack. No more screaming and shouting about deals that seem too good to be true and this weekend-only events. Instead, when we have something to say, we're simply going to say it. Straightforward, open, like you would with your friends. It's the same way you're treated when you come to our dealership. When you come to Palm Chevrolet, you're not pounced upon by a salesperson. You're greeted like a guest at our home. And our deals, they're simple, old-fashioned horse trading, the way you do it with your neighbors. We put our prices right on the windshield of our cars. We use the Auto Trader trade-in marketplace to make sure you get a fair price for your trade. We even have trucks in our service loaner fleet. No games, no hassles. It's the way you've told us you like to do business. We call it the Palm Chevrolet way. So come on down to 2300 Southwest College Road in Ocala and see how easy it is to buy a car or truck the Palm Chevrolet way. Visit palmchevrolet.com. Chevy. Find new roads.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Life jackets save lives. Wear it, Florida. Today will be mostly cloudy with a couple of showers, high 68 to 72. Cloudy and mild tonight with a shower or two. Patchy fog will develop late tonight and last into tomorrow morning, though tonight 60 to 64. Later tomorrow becoming partly sunny and warmer with a stray shower, the high 78 to 82. And for Saturday, clouds, some sun, breezy and warm with a shower and thunderstorm in the afternoon, high 77 to 81. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Joe Lundberg.
Hi, this is Joe from Damage Control Services. Join me Tuesdays at 10:30 when we discuss what to do when your property gets damaged, how to fix it fast, and get back on track. At Damage Control, we specialize in helping home and business owners recover from damage caused by floods, fires, storms, tree damage, mold, and all other insurance-related disasters. So when disaster strikes, big or small, call Damage Control Services. Call me, 352-817-6574.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA, The Source.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Phoenix Promotional Solutions, your company supplier of banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Where you give them approved artwork by noon, the next day by 4 p.m., you pick up your banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404. That's 368-2404. Don't forget, they do vehicle wraps also. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404.
How good does it get? Golf has long been considered to be sport's most prestigious game, and WOCA has your connection to everything in the golf world. Every first and third Thursday at 10 a.m., tune in for Let's Talk Golf with your host, PGA professional and teacher to the stars, Jim Beckett, and operations manager for the links of Spruce Creek South, Darren Irwin, right here on The Source.
You're about to hear is the fusion of entertainment and enlightenment. This is the Glenn Beck Program.
Welcome to the program, lone survivor Marcus Luttrell. The movie is out this weekend nationwide. I saw it, I don't know, about a month or two ago, and it is the best war film I have ever seen. I believe the best war film ever made. Far superior to anything like Saving Private Ryan, especially since you know that it is a true story. Marcus, welcome to the program. How are you, sir?
Good, you?
I am good. I am better than usual because I saw you last night. And Marcus, I think that you are you're in better spirits and you seem more together than I think I've ever seen you.
I credit that to my wife and kids. Happy anniversary, by the way.
Thank you very much. Did the movie getting this off your chest and getting this behind you, has that played a role?
Yes, sir. No, I was talking earlier. My wife and I were talking about it, and it's been a long road. Obviously, we've been in this together since the very beginning. But now that the movie's coming out and it's all drawn to an end, I can't wait for it to be over. And just move on with my life.
Tanya and I were talking about something during the holiday, and I don't know if you even remember this, but I was in a restaurant 4 years ago, in New York City, and you and I had just watched, what was it, The Other Guys? Was that the cop show with Wahlberg? Remember you came over and we watched that, and it was there was a scene in the outtakes about me, and we were watching that, and you were talking to me about how much you love Wahlberg and everything else, and you leave town. The next day, my wife and I are having dinner, and Mark Wahlberg walks by our table. Now it's New York, so it's not cool to say hello to me, but I look up, and he looks at me, and he kind of smiles and nods his head like, I know who you are. And I did the same thing to him, and he sits down. So before we leave, I write a note, and I have the waiter take it over to his table as we walk out. And it said, I was just with a true American hero. I don't know how you feel about me, but you should get to know this guy, Marcus Luttrell. And I wrote Lone Survivor and everything else, and I gave him my phone number. The next day, I was out someplace on the streets of New York, and the phone rang, and Joe handed it to me, and he said, Mark Wahlberg is on the phone, and we talked about you. Do you remember that at all? I wonder if he even remembers that.
No, I remember talking to you about that you had run into him in the at the restaurant.
Yeah, I mean, how weird is that now he's playing you?
I know. Yeah. After that conversation we had, and then when Pete called me, and all the other actors had ultimately been decided. And I said, what are you going to do about me? Because I'm definitely not playing the part. And he goes, I'm thinking about Mark Wahlberg. And I was like, really? Who are you trying to get? And he goes, no, seriously, Mark Wahlberg wants to do it. And I said, well, all right, get him in here. And then obviously after that, once the word got out, the rumors started flying that Mark Wahlberg was playing me. It was typical split down the middle. Everybody was like, hey, he's a great actor. I love him, and blah, blah, blah. And then someone just, he's not tall enough. Well, I really didn't have anything to do with anything. Not too many people know how tall I am, and I'm bigger than him. I mean, he's a great actor. He's a pro, and that's what you want when you're.
No, I thought he did I thought he did a great job myself. I mean, he wasn't you, but I thought he did a great job. The scenes. If you were telling people to go see this movie and just watch for one thing, what would it be? What is the one thing that that you just hope people catch or they see that was really, that they captured it, that was it, that was real?
I think the bond and the love we had for each other, that we were unwilling to separate no matter what the cost was. I think that they drove that message home pretty hard in the movie. And the whole background on the movie was to make sure that it's not a political movie, it's not about religion, race, anything like that. It's just, it was what it was. It's a war movie, and it's about combat, and it's about people dying. And the second one would be that when Gulag rescued me in the village and what they were willing to sacrifice just to protect a total stranger. I mean, I really want people to know that there are, even though there are some radical people out there, there's radical people in every religion.
Thank you for pausing and thinking about that. That was good, Marcus.
I've learned a lot knowing you over the years. So
you have developed an edit button, which is a very interesting.
It's not like me, is it?
No, it's not. What have you done with Marcus Luttrell?
So, Marcus, is there anything in this movie that, because in all of these, I mean, they put in filler, they put in entertainment value, they put in composite characters. Is there much of that in this movie, or is it pretty much true to life?
No, it plays true to form. The only thing I tell people when they go and watch it, remember it is a movie. And,
first of all, it took a lot longer.
Yeah,
the battle that you see is
longer than 2 hours. The whole tale?
No. But I mean, just the battle itself, the actual falling down the hill and fighting was how long?
3 hours, over 3 hours, and then the movie's only an hour and what. So I mean, and a lot of the constraints that were put on us, obviously, when you're making a movie, and this is I've learned this going along, is money is an issue, time is an issue, and the biggest thing was safety. I mean, in reality, all our guys died and broke pretty much every bone in our body falling down that mountain. You're not going to be able to do that to the actors or the stuntmen. Even though
not very many of the actors actually died in the making of the movie. That's good.
Because if it did, we should make more movies.
There's a great moment in the trailer because I still haven't seen the movie, Marcus, but I can't wait. Where someone says to Mark Wahlberg's character, which is you, by the way, that I'm shot, and Mark says, "We're all shot. Can you fight?" I mean, it's the mentality of you guys that are over there, saving the country and saving us from having to do hard work. It's amazing.
Here's what you don't get in the film. Marcus broke his back. So Mark Wahlberg gets up and then falls into this. But Marcus dragged himself. He was paralyzed from the chest down, from the arms down. He dragged himself by his arms for about 12 hours. 6 miles.
Man.
You don't see any of that, so you don't really. I mean, there's one point when
they don't show any of that.
No, him dragging himself. No, at one point when that Wahlberg character falls, you fall down and you hit the rock. You know that in real life you ain't getting up from that, and that's where you broke your back.
Yes, sir. Yeah. No, we were talking about that when you see these guys doing the falls, and we were rendered unconscious multiple times, and you just don't bounce back up from being knocked out. I mean, you got to pick your brain up off the ground and put it back in your head, kind of deal. So those kind of liberties, that's when I tell people, like, hey, it's a movie, man. And then there's this scene at the end of the movie that where I'm getting worked over by the Taliban. Well, that happened, but I didn't kill anybody. I didn't kill a Taliban member with a knife. I didn't.
Don't say that. You gotta revisit that. That's a really good part of the movie. You want to revisit that.
Hang on to that.
You hang on to that one.
Well,
keep that to yourself.
I kind of giggled. I was like, right now I'm as truthful as possible. And but when I'm about 60 or 70 years old, my grandkids are running around. I killed that guy with a knife.
You'll be all over that.
You'll give them the knife. It was 6 people. It was this knife, and I'm giving it to you, and you'll give it to all of your grandkids.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'll start making some stuff up too. I was like, they had to leave it out. It was too brutal for the movie. So,
by the way, if when you're finished with this movie, when you finish watching it, make sure you stay in your seats, and because it talks about the real stories and what really happened and everything else. But remember one thing, that Marcus came home and started the Lone Survivor Foundation to help heal our wounded servicemen. Mercury One gave a check last night to help this, and it is a great cause started by a great man. Marcus, the new Chris Kyle movie is being cast right now.
I heard something about that.
How do you feel about? I mean, what was it like to get? I know because we've talked about this before. You went in and sat with all the Hollywood people, and this was in your moments when you didn't have an edit button, and you said, if you screw this up, I want you to know I'm going to come back and I'll kill you all. Yeah. And I believe you at that time, you would have done that.
Oh yeah. Now I'm weak, and I'm married with kids. I don't have.
Yeah. So, what advice? What does it take to have Hollywood not screw up something like the Chris Kyle movie?
I think all the family members and all if they have the backing of Naval Special Warfare like we did with Lone Survivor, and I would hope that Lone Survivor does really well. The American public picks it up and watches it. I think with all the stuff that's going down in the past and the recognition that a lot of this is getting, that hopefully whoever's directing or making that movie knows in their heart that this is something important and that we can't screw this up. And Peter Berg put out like 10 men. I mean, that guy, he would not stop. He was relentless. I mean, he went to Iraq with us. He was embedded with us during training. I mean, he was nonstop. That guy had a day off. He was with us. And I think because of all of that, it shows in the film because he knows everything. He knows the ins and outs and what's right and what's not. I mean, because bottom line is we're not Supermen. We don't wear capes. I don't have a lightsaber. I can't fly or anything like that. So it's just... I can't fly anymore.
All right. Okay.
Check all that stuff at the door.
All right. Good.
Just to make it realistic as possible, and if possible, get the family members involved and some team guys involved. Maybe the same guys we had on the set of Lone Survivor.
I will tell you that
that's a touchy one.
We don't. Our family doesn't see rated R movies, and it wasn't really even a thought with us because Marcus is our good family friend. That we decided to suspend that. But if you are like me and you are, you stay away from violence or you stay away from, movies that are just throwing the F-bomb, if this is edited for television, it would be about 2.5 minutes long.
I've apologized. I'm blue in the face to everybody. And when I'm at theaters, I stand in the front and say, look, I want to apologize right now. There's a lot of profanity. There's a lot of violence. Because I don't cuss in front of women, I don't cuss in front of my mother and anything like that, but I'm not in front of my mother when we were out there. The person I was in combat is not the person I am when I'm around my family.
I will tell you, though, that there's a difference between... language really bothers me now because I just don't hear it that often. But I will tell you that nothing stuck out. There was nothing gratuitous of like, what I'm going to do to her. It wasn't that kind. No. It wasn't taking God's name in vain. It was just using the F word about every other word, but in the context as you're falling down a mountain. I believe that would be the word I would be choosing.
It slips out every now and again. No, my mom, when she started to wash my mouth out with soap, I was like, no, I didn't want you to, I didn't know you were going to watch this. As a matter of fact, Miss Axelson, Axe's mom, she was real adamant about Ben Foster portraying Axe and no profanity, because Axe he didn't cuss unless he was mad. And that's how you knew. If he threw something out at you, you had upset him, which was a bad deal. But so if you notice in the film, Foster never uses profanity.
Real quick, the part with the horses, all real. All of the stuff that was happening beforehand, because it showed you guys as just like normal guys. And then all of a sudden this happens.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah. You're talking about with the wedding and everything like that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was deep in the plans. We talked about that quite a bit. Mikey, he'd always be on the phone with his fiance or whatnot, and then when he'd walk out, we were all excited because single guys going to a wedding. Come on.
Marcus Luttrell, lone survivor, who, by the way, he is in the movie. He didn't even tell me, and then all of a sudden, his big, huge face is in the movie. You're the only one that didn't look like a Navy SEAL. I just want to throw that out.
What's this guy doing in here?
I know. Marcus Luttrell, lone survivor. Thank you so much. And movie opens this weekend.
Tomorrow.
Probably tonight at midnight, some places, but tomorrow. nationwide, everywhere. Again, I warn you, lots of profanity, violence like you can't believe.
It's not the Sound of Music. There's no singing, is there, Marcus? Did you guys ever break out in song?
But
I think there was
the Hills were alive with
story in there towards the end.
Yeah, the Hills were alive with the sound of the F word. But it is well worth your time to see, and none of it is gratuitous. It is. You will feel like you went through Operation Red Wing with Marcus Luttrell. Marcus, thanks.
All right, love you, bro.
God bless.
Oh.
All right, our sponsor this half hour is Tax Defense Partners. Tax Defense Partners. Ever heard of innocent spouse defense? George had never heard of innocent spouse defense, but he was sure glad that Tax Defense Partners had heard of it. George learned how that phrase can change your life. He got a note from the IRS claiming he owed $25,000 in back taxes, penalties, and interest. He was blindsided because he's the kind of guy that pays all of his taxes on time and everything else. But his deceased wife had withdrawn huge sums of money out of her retirement account and then shared with her children and never told him. Never filed anything with the IRS, never did anything, and then she dies. And when he got the IRS demand, he's like, I don't even know anything about it. Innocent spouse defense. Innocent spouse defense. Thanks to Tax Defense Partners, he was found innocent and had zero to pay. $10,000 or more to the IRS, you're under audit, you haven't filed your back returns, call Tax Defense Partners, 866-TAX-DEFENSE, 866-829-3333, or taxdefensepartners.com.
Let me tell you something, Glenn.
888-727-BECK.
Get off my phone!
The Blaze Radio Network.
Did you hear what Liberty Safe has just come out with? It's one of these things that you never really think of because you think, I've got a safe. Yeah, well, how safe is your safe? Let's say you're a million miles away from home and your valuables are safely stashed in your safe. You think everything's good. But now let's suppose that somebody breaks into the house and starts pounding on your safe or starts to put a crowbar in it or whatever. They actually, in my neighborhood, they took a jackhammer and jackhammered out the safe from, it was bolted into the floor on one of my neighbors. And they got away with it because they didn't have something that only a Liberty Safe has, and that is Safe Alert. It's a wireless and silent monitor that goes inside of your safe. So if some idiot tries to move your safe or even the door just opens because your wife or your husband has done it, you get an alert.
Safe Alert lets you know when something is happening to your safe and sends you a text or an email, and there are no monitoring fees. Check it out at libertysafe.com and click the Safe Alert demo. That's libertysafe.com for the best built and most secure safes on the planet.
At Palm Chevrolet, we're starting 2014 with a renewed commitment to you, our customers. Now, what does that mean? Well, for starters, it means breaking away from the pack. No more screaming and shouting about deals that seem too good to be true and this weekend-only events. Instead, when we have something to say, we're simply going to say it. Straightforward, open, like you would with your friends. It's the same way you're treated when you come to our dealership. When you come to Palm Chevrolet, you're not pounced upon by a salesperson. You're greeted like a guest at our home. And our deals, they're simple, old-fashioned horse trading, the way you do it with your neighbors. We put our prices right on the windshield of our cars. We use the Auto Trader trade-in marketplace to make sure you get a fair price for your trade. We even have trucks in our service loaner fleet. No games, no hassles. It's the way you've told us you like to do business. We call it the Palm Chevrolet way. So come on down to 2300 Southwest College Road in Ocala and see how easy it is to buy a car or a truck the Palm Chevrolet way. Visit palmchevrolet.com. Chevy. Find new roads.
Legally Yours, brought to you by Fuller & Fuller Attorneys at Law. On the air every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. with John Fuller, a board-certified civil trial lawyer for over 25 years. John welcomes your questions, from business to complex family matters to legal disputes. So tune in every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. for Legally Yours with John Fuller, right here on WOCA 1370 a.m. and 96.3 FM, The Source.
Habitat for Humanity of Marion County is a ministry dedicated to improving lives by providing affordable and decent housing. Help them help others by visiting the Habitat for Humanity Ocala home store on Northwest 27th Avenue. To schedule a donation, give them a call and they'll come and pick it up. For more information, visit HabitatOcala.org. Habitat for Humanity of Marion County, building homes, building hope, building community.
This is the Glenn Beck Program.
It is the Glenn Beck Program.
The Chris Christie thing just ended, Glenn. I'm still actually blabbing, but he did fire the woman who sent the email. He had a couple of other aides that were kind of caught up in the cover-up about it and trying to do damage control, and he's taken them out of consideration for the head of the party or whatever.
And we've taken him out of consideration for president of the United States.
Yeah. So, well, we did that a while ago. It had nothing to do with a bridge.
Yeah, we did.
However, it's being, I would say, seemingly well received that he's at least doing something, taking some responsibility, and unlike the president, President Obama, which I can now say, he is firing people.
Yeah, but he's saying he was. I had no knowledge or involvement. I was blindsided.
He's still saying that. He's sticking to that line.
Yeah, it's. This is Nixon
protecting himself at all costs here, and maybe he's telling the truth. But
well, I'm sure. Look, guys, this is the way long friendships work. Is there any doubt in your mind you could take care of things around me without ever asking me? You would know Glenn would want us to do this, and let's just keep Glenn out of that.
Oh, sure.
Right. Huh. Would you both know Glenn wouldn't want us to shut down traffic or wouldn't want us to do anything nefarious or anything else? You would know that.
You would know immediately. You would be infuriated if we did that.
Yeah, you would know immediately. His friends, these are not just aides. These are his longtime childhood friends. Yeah. They know him. So he doesn't have to know. You put your friends in like that around you, they operate. They're doing it, and they protect you. If you're doing nefarious stuff, they just protect you. And they're like, we don't have to talk to him. We know exactly what to do here. This is what Chris would do. So he loses his credibility when he says, I was blindsided, I didn't know. These are your childhood friends that did it. Chris, nobody believes you had a conversation with them. They're your childhood friends. Show me your friends.
This is the Glenn Beck Program.
The Blaze Radio Network.
FNN News, I'm Dennis Pavlov. Bad crime news for the Sunshine State as the Attorney General's office says hate crimes are on the rise. These are crimes committed where race, sexual orientation, or religion are stated as the aggravators. 170 hate crimes reported statewide in 2012, up 22% from 2011. For the first time in its 126-year history, Florida A&M University will have a female president. The FAMU trustees have voted to hire Dr. Elmira Mangum, a vice president at Cornell University. Trustee Marjorie Turnbull says Mangum is the right person for the job.
I believe we have identified a rising star in the academic world. She has an in-depth understanding of what it takes to lead a great university like FAMU.
That decision did not sit well with leaders of the FAMU Alumni Association. They supported Dr. Larry Robinson, who has served as interim president of Florida A&M since 2012. A proposal to ban the sale of electronic cigarettes and other alternative tobacco products to minors has been approved by the Criminal Justice Committee in the Florida Senate. The bill by Senator Lizbeth Benaquisto of Fort Myers had unanimous support once she assured Senator Greg Evers it only applies to minors.
You know, you said it doesn't change anything, so this means that folks could still smoke e-cigarettes inside of a building?
All this bill does, Mr. Chairman, is prohibit the sale of these products to minors.
Just wanted a clarification on that.
This is the second time the e-cigarette ban for minors has been approved by a Senate committee, and there will be another vote next week. If it passes the legislature, Benequisto says Florida will be one step closer to preventing a new generation of nicotine addicts. And a private space company called Orbital Sciences Corporation gets a big Cygnus rocket off the ground today from Wallops Island in Virginia. This one carrying a supply module with over a ton of stuff headed to the International Space Station. With news on the Florida News Network, I'm Dennis Pavluk.
This is an urgent message for all individuals with extremely large credit card debt. No matter how much you owe on your credit cards, the company that has settled more debt than anyone in the U.S. could settle your debt too. While you make one low monthly program payment, you have the opportunity to hear how low your monthly program payment could be for free. This free information is available now simply by calling Freedom Debt Relief at 1-800-504-0243. I repeat, if you have extremely large credit card debt, you now have the ability to reduce your total debt and get one simple low monthly program payment. This could allow you to resolve your debt faster than you ever thought possible. But you should act quickly. Call Freedom Debt Relief now to learn how much you could save. 1-800-504-0243. Again, this life-changing information is available for free. To find out how much you may be able to save, call today. 1-800-504-0243. That's 1-800-504-0243. 1-800-504...
Hi, Robin. You look tired.
I am. I've been running all over town.
Why? Why not drive?
I need to get the stupid document notarized.
Well, that's easy. You need personal service.
Duh. That's what I've been looking for.
You need to go see Mark at the Personal Service Center. He can notarize that for you, make copies, fax it wherever, or send it out in the mail. Heck, he can even scan it and email it for you.
Really? Where is he at?
2375 Northeast 25th Avenue, on the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street. You can call him at 789-6683.
Personal Service Center. Thanks, Larry.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
When people were asked to choose between a bunch of items, they had less stamina and did worse on mental tests afterward. So the fix? Try and go with your gut. What is the top indicator that you will weigh more in 5 years? It's being on a diet today. You want a quick immune booster? Eat more shellfish. I do. It's because it contains selenium and zinc, nutrients that can cut the time you struggle with a cold or the flu by nearly 1/2.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Howdy, RL here to tell you about a great deal at Dairy Queen. For only $4.49, you can warm up to a hot, juicy combo of either a foot-long, quarter-pound all-beef chili dog or a tasty home-style cheeseburger. Smoking hot off the char grill. Both get fries and a drink. You can add a sundae for only 99 cents. Now that's a doggone good deal at Dairy Queen, Silver Springs, where they always treat you like kings and queens.
WOCA, keeping you in touch with Ocala.
Glenn Beck. So this Chris Christie thing just really bothers me. There are conservatives. I'm happy to say not a lot of conservatives are calling us. I think we've had one so far today. But conservatives are, I don't have a problem with Chris Christie doing this. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You should have a huge problem. This is a progressive Republican, somebody who will use the machinery. Now, again, he says, I had nothing to do with it. But you know what? Again, let me go back to the analogy of your friends. If you've hired your friends, your childhood friends, they know you. And here's the thing. It's not like his childhood friends were trying to save his career because his career was going down. And so they're like, we got to do something, man. No, I don't know. We can't do that. Yeah, we've got to do something. Save him. No, that wasn't it. He was 40 points ahead. This is just slimy, dirty, evil, vindictive. This is Nixon writ large.
Yeah, it's the most revealing part about it is the scale of it. Because even if let's say Anthony Weiner, here's a guy, if you were a close friend of Anthony Weiner, you know these texts are coming out, you might do anything you could. It's not a good idea, but you might do anything you could to save him because he's your lifelong friend and you just show loyalty to him. To do this sort of nonsense when you're already ahead by 30 or 40 points is just it's a
Can we not call it nonsense? A woman died because of it.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I mean, we said it's not Benghazi, but well, how many people died in Benghazi?
And we don't know that for sure that she wouldn't have died anyway. But ambulances were delayed. The risk was clearly there. So you're right. It's not nonsense. But you're just tweaking a guy who didn't endorse you as a Democrat when you're up 30 points. That's no insanity.
Insanity.
And Christie is getting some credit for the way he's handling this. He's fired the woman and he's demoted some other people.
Well, that's only because he's a Democrat. I mean, a Republican. If he was a Democrat, he wouldn't have to do that.
He wouldn't have to do any of this stuff.
Yeah, they would give him a pass on this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But he is, saying the right things. He's saying he's taking responsibility. He's saying it was so stupid. He's saying I feel dumb for coming out and mocking it initially.
I want to hear from the first reporter that asks him, these are your childhood friends, man. These are your childhood friends that did this. You're telling me you're shocked? Are you such a bad judge of character that you didn't know your childhood friends were these kinds of vindictive, nasty people? Or are you like that and you're attracting your friend? Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Which is it? You don't know who your friends are? Or that's the kind of stuff that your friends would expect you would be cool with? I think that's the question here. Because it's really not, Obama can get away all the time with saying, well, I didn't know, and he was in a different, I don't think we have anything that is his childhood friend, do we?
I don't think so.
No. He denies all of his friends. We do. Jeremiah Wright, and that tells you something about him.
Not childhood, but
not childhood, but he goes back 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
So that tells me something about you've had a friend that you were close to, that you stood up for 20 years. So, are you either that bad of a judge of character that this guy's over your house all the time and you've never heard him like this at all, ever? That's impossible to believe. Or that's who you are. That's who you are. Same thing here with Chris Christie. I'll bet you nobody will ask that question. These are your childhood friends, buddy. It's not just government gone awry. These are your buddies.
Yeah, and you have to have a higher standard if you're going to put one of your childhood friends in a big position of power like this.
Why do you put your friends in power?
Because you can trust them, you know them.
Yep.
You can depend on them to do what you need to get done.
Mm-hmm. They think like you do. That's why you put your friends in there. Because behind closed doors, you don't have to second guess. They're going to act as if they are you. Because if you are a president or somebody else, you need to know that somebody in that room you can completely trust and will act like you. Now, that doesn't mean that all of your friends are who they say they are. But here's two of them. Mm-hmm. And they're that far off? I mean, could I see some of my friends, end up going bad, doing something? Yeah, I could. I mean, we all have friends and everybody makes mistakes.
We consider Jeffy a friend. So, that happens all the time.
Right. Yeah. Right. I mean, would any of us be, surprised if we, found him with the cat lady?
You almost don't even have to finish that sentence. Would any of us be surprised if? No. The answer is no.
We wouldn't. Yeah. Mm. But that doesn't mean that we,
Well, I mean, it's not. You know what, Jeffy, and we use Jeffy as the example for the horrible thing all the time. We would say he would, do this horrible thing, and we would not be surprised. However, I know Jeffy well enough to know he wouldn't do something that would hurt you.
No, he wouldn't.
That's the key here.
No, he wouldn't.
People make mistakes on their own all the time.
Yeah.
But to do something that would intentionally make you look bad to ruin your career,
he wouldn't do it.
Which is one of the reasons I don't believe he didn't know anything about it. I think he knew and probably said, "Hey, let's make it pay for this."
I think you could go. I think I could. You could convince me maybe of that, but you could easily convince me that one of his friends walked up to him and said, "Hey, your mayor buddy. Ooh, he's had some traffic problems lately." I heard that. All right, talk to you later, Bill. I bet you that conversation could happen where they never actually said anything. Yeah. They just kind of spoke around it. Let me go to Judy here because she's upset in North Carolina. Judy, go ahead.
Hey, Glenn. I'm a longtime listener, loved you for years, but you are literally pissing me off. You are poisoning the well for 2016. If Chris Christie ends up the nominee, we have to vote for him. We cannot vote for a third party.
No, you don't have to vote for him.
No, you don't. How many Judy, what happened?
Let her.
That's what you're doing.
How many times are we going to go down this road?
How many times are we going to go down this? I don't want a progressive in office, Judy.
Oh, neither do I, but let me tell you, what choice do you have? Okay?
Plenty of choices.
He has a lot of good things, and you are guessing. You are guessing that his so-called friends, lifelong friends, have done this.
No, we never eliminated him from 2016 because of this. This is just the news of the day. He was eliminated from consideration for me in the 2016 campaign because of his policies.
Yeah,
his
longtime policies. But beyond that, Judy, we're not guessing that his friends did that. We know. We have the emails of his friends doing that.
You are guessing.
No, we have the emails, Judy.
I'm sorry.
We have the emails, Judy. Judy, will you recognize that the emails exist? Will you at least recognize reality?
He just fired these people. We do know that he.
So we're not guessing who was involved. We know who was involved, Judy.
We don't know if Christie was involved yet. That's fair.
I just don't like that every time I turn you on, which is when I'm in the car every day, you are constantly poisoning the well the same way you did with Romney. You didn't support Romney. You supported Santorum as a great guy, but didn't have a chance in hell.
Wait a minute. Because we supported one candidate over another, we're poisoning a well?
Judy, let me tell you something.
Those are our true opinions.
Let me tell you something, Judy. You should not, and I say this with all love and respect due to you, you should not listen to this program ever again.
Why is that?
Because what you're expecting me to do is carry water for the
Republican
GOP.
Party.
I'm not that guy.
I am not.
We don't do that.
Do that.
Yes, you are. You're telling me that I shouldn't have an opinion on Chris Christie, who I think is a despicable progressive. That's what he is.